Let's go.
Good afternoon. This is the Town of Hempstead Board of Appeals, January 7th, 2 p.m. meeting. Mr. Chairman, do you have any opening remarks?
A few brief remarks. For those of you who have not appeared before us before, the manner in which we conduct the hearings are as follows. First, we will request any applications for an adjournment. We'll take those cases first. If there are none, then we will get into the cases. Ordinarily, we do the renewals first, but I see the one renewal we do have on this afternoon. We'll hear that later in the day. All right. The hearings, the applicant at the hearings is given the opportunity to present the case. If there is anyone here who objects to the relief sought, they'll be given the opportunity to voice their concerns. And finally, we will close the hearing by having the applicant sum up. During the course of the hearings, we will allow just about any reasonable evidence to be introduced. We're not constrained. This is not a court of law, so we're not constrained by the strict rules of evidence. We do have a court reporter taking down everything that is said. We would suggest that if you're going to make a statement or statements, you do so slowly and talk into the microphone. We don't like people to talk over each other because you can only take notes for from one person speaking at a time. The hearings are also videotaped. They're archived so that if you have to refer to them in the future, you're free to do so. And I think that's about it. Patrick? Any requests for an adjournment?
No requests for adjournment this afternoon.
Okay.
First, we have case 2026, Franklin Square, Fit Fam 1 LLC, special exception for place of public assembly and amusement in portion of existing building, proposed gym, variance in off-street parking, also known as 166 through 206 New Hyde Park Road. Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Go ahead, Bill Benesso.
William.
And is that your client next to you? The applicant?
Obviously.
I would never trust him as a client.
By the way, is there anyone else here on this case who may be interested in one form or another?
Just my client, Mr. Fatchin, who's the, as far as I know, just my client who's the principal.
Okay. You may proceed at your leisure.
Thank you. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Benesso for Chelly Deegan Tirana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, FitFam 1 LLC. The applicant is a tenant of the Franklin Plaza, situated on New Hyde Park Road in Franklin Square. This is an existing shopping center. It's owned and managed by Breslin Realty. It has been the subject of previous applications to this board. The last one about a year ago, I had for a new sign that they were installing, and they moved around some parking spaces, didn't need a parking variance, but moved around some spaces. The case before you, and by the way, I'm sorry, seated behind me to my left is Mr. Mark Fashion. He's the principal of the tenant. And seated to my right is Mr. Wayne Muller. He is a transportation engineer and principal at R&M Engineering. He has been qualified by this board on many, many occasions as a traffic and parking expert, provided the opportunity to give opinion testimony in those areas. And I'd ask that he be permitted to do so again today. So the application before you today is in connection with two forms of relief. One is a change of use that is going to go into a 4,610 square foot portion of the existing shopping center. What used to be a retail space is now going to be a fitness space. It's going to be a D1 training facility. I provided Mr. Owens with a handout to give you just an overview of the kind of services they provide.
What do you mean by D1?
D1 is the name.
Oh.
D1,
You meant like
D1 training.
To train D1 athletes.
No, not Division 1. Just D1 training is the name of the entity. And because of that change of use, they have a higher parking requirement associated with the site. The site presently operates at about a 52, 53 parking space deficiency, which has been legalized in the past. This increases the parking requirement by another 8 spaces, brings it up to 60 space deficiency, and you'll hear from Mr. Muller on that. But before I get to that, the other form of relief required is a special exception for a place of assembly and amusement, which is what fitness and training facilities, dance studios, things like that are deemed to be. The D1 training centers are facilities that engage in workouts for children and adults, the majority of which are actually children. Each workout engages 5 core programs. They do it in sessions of 54 minutes. They involve dynamic warm-ups, performance, strength, core and conditioning, and cool-down stretching. As mentioned, as many as 60 to 70% of the patrons are kids, and this board has heard me preach on many occasions how important it is to have our children these days active physically and in social situations where they are face-to-face with people, not just building their bodies, but also building their social skills as opposed to being in front of screens, social media, video games, and the like. This is yet another one that will provide that opportunity to kids. Again, it's a performance center. It's for training athletes. They basically have 3 different levels of the age groups for children: 7 to 9, 10 to 13, and 14 to 17. They engage in fitness classes that are scheduled. This is not a walk-in facility. So you don't have a situation where people just walk in and you might have, an influx of many, many people at a time that would generate problems for parking. It's all scheduled. It's not a walk-in gym.
Is there like the backside of the curb, like I can go now and be a rookie again because my physical fitness is going?
Yes.
You go back, this side is.
Well, there is personal training and adult training as well, the adult classes and individual personal training as well.
was going to ask that.
Yes. But again, it's all scheduled. They do have one-on-one, but they also have classes. The classes, as I say, run about 54 minutes long. They schedule them pretty much on the hour. The classes would have a maximum of 24 students in them, and they would have at most 2 classes going on at a time. They, again, as many as 70% of the people are children. They are, and of that, typically 80% of that population is non-driving, so it's not a situation where they're parking. The parents are bringing them there, they're dropping them off, and they're taking off and then coming back in an hour to pick them up under most circumstances. Again, in terms of personnel, they have a general manager and anywhere from 3 to 5 employees at any given time. On the premises. On the premises, yeah. Sometimes it's 3. At their peak times, it would be 5. Their peak times are good times from a parking perspective. Their peak times will be early in the morning, from anywhere from 5 to 7 and 8 a.m. until the afternoon, 4 to 6, 7 p.m., like that. So you don't have, during the busiest time of the retail period, you don't have a lot of activity while the kids, again, who are the biggest customers, are in school. As indicated, there's personal training as well. There are very few deliveries that occur here. They don't have a big retail component. They have some products that they sell, basically water. They sell water. They don't sell any food. They have some gear, just fitness gear, but they don't have a big retail component in any way, shape, or form. So as a result, they don't have a lot of deliveries. So they don't generate a lot of refuse. The refuse will be picked up from in accordance with the shopping center. So
When they do have deliveries, given the minor nature of them, I assume it's not going to be a tractor trailer, probably not
No,
even a
no.
box truck. Like a van comes up and goes,
Typically-
here's your 20 shirts.
typically UPS, FedEx, that kind of thing. And if it's a supply of water, it's going to be a box truck or a van of some sort. They
Is
don't.
there a rear loading dock or a loading?
I
a
don't
rear
believe.
entrance, I
No,
should
no.
say?
There's no rear loading dock on this.
Entrance in there, or is it?
It'll be from the front. Yeah.
Mr.
I mean, if there's
Vanessa,
anything more that
Mr.
the
Vanessa, just a minute. Mr. Plumer?
Yeah.
What used to be there in this space?
Retail,
It was retail.
retail.
It was a retail. Let me see. Bob
I'm
Rosenberg.
curious as to
Oh, it was a Rite Aid drugstore.
which would probably require a lot more people driving there.
Well, certainly, yeah, certainly, Mr. Muller can attest to that. But yeah, it would certainly have more in and out, and certainly more parking as opposed to this, where this will be mostly a drop-off activity.
The proposed hours of operation?
Proposed hours of operation would be Monday through Sunday, typically 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. and on Saturday and Sunday, 8 till 12 p.m.
During the day?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
What they say Saturday, Sunday?
is that right, Mark?
Say that Saturday, Sunday?
That's correct. So unless the board has any additional questions about the D1 operation, I'll turn it over to Mr. Muller to provide his traffic and parking testimony.
Mr. Mueller, you've been qualified as an expert in traffic and parking before this board on any number of occasions. Since the last time you qualified as an expert, have any of your qualifications changed?
No, they have not.
And we will again allow you to testify as an expert on traffic and parking.
Thank you. For the record, Wayne Muller with the firm of R&M Engineering, offices at 50 Elm Street, Huntington, New York. In accordance with the board's procedures, I'd like to submit additional copies of the analysis we prepared, which is dated December 6, 2025. And then just briefly summarize the results contained therein.
I want to follow along.
Okay.
This Joey.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good?
You can go ahead, Mr.
That
Muller.
was a
Okay,
pizza
great, thank you.
right
As Mr. Benesso indicated, it is proposed to occupy approximately 4,610 square feet of the existing shopping center with the proposed fitness use. Currently, there's an additional 5,600 and something square feet of vacant space within the shopping center. One of the spaces is currently being fitted out as a bagel store. However, it was not occupied at the time that we performed our observations of the activity on the site. As per the parking requirements in
The
accordance,
bagel store is it gonna be a restaurant or just takeout, or do you know?
it looked like it was just takeout, pretty much. I think it had a limited amount of seats inside. But what does it
It's
say?
under construction.
12 or less.
12 or less seats, primarily going to be takeout.
How many of the businesses in this group are not operating right now?
Only two, right?
Well, you have the subject, then there's the bagel store, which is under construction, and one other small space.
So your counts don't reflect those uses, right?
That's correct. Yes, that's correct. As depicted on the plans,
Factor in their occupancy.
of course I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Using the ITE.
No, we actually utilize the existing ratios, but I'll get into that in 1 second. As indicated on the plans prepared by Civil Insight, in accordance with the Town of Hempstead Building Zone Ordinance, Section 319, and as indicated by Mr. Benesso, a total of 263 parking spaces are required for the composite shopping center, and 203 parking spaces are provided on the property, leaving a shortfall of 60 parking spaces.
Will you, if I'm ahead of you, I'm sorry. Will you make sure that you tell us how those, if you know, how the shortages go with which groups, or did you just do the whole group?
Well, the calculation is based on a total count for the entire shopping center, so we
Right,
can't
I understand.
really say how they apply to each one.
But since it's 60 short, right?
Yeah.
Net.
Yeah,
In the aggregate. So somebody, and you're asking for an 8-spot variance.
Increase.
So somewhere, people got other variances along the way. Do we know which ones are attributable to which group?
I don't have that information. I don't have that information. I can tell you that the site is CO'd for the current use, the current operation, and this increases the parking variance that is presently in place.
By 8.
By basically 8 spaces, correct?
And do you happen to know, Mr. Mueller, if those other two businesses, if you're short, they're short? Like, given it's being done in the aggregate, did they already get their variances, or are they coming too, or what?
Well, if they are staying at retail, then they don't need to come in. It's just the building department says, okay, if a retail is leaving and a retail is coming in, they don't have to get a
Are they
variance.
retail?
Yes, as far as we know,
Bagel
yes.
shop? Is it
Right now, well, the vacant shop, we don't know what, if they come in as a restaurant or some other use that has a prior parking requirement, we'll be back before the board.
So how did you put them into, oh, I guess you didn't. You just said, okay, right now there's this many spots with our business, this many is required, and we don't know where we got the other. The building department must have had to figure out where the other,
We calculated them as retail,
okay.
their spaces,
And
those.
then, I'm sorry, Becky, the building department must know where the other variances were gotten, right? Because somewhere there's whatever, the other 52 spots.
It should be in the parking calculations I'm looking right now.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Mueller.
Okay, yeah, so we looked at the site as a composite based on the various different uses that are contained there today, and all that information is clearly shown on the plans that were prepared by Civil Insights. That would be the site plan. And he goes through a chart which, based on the various different uses, the Holiday Farm supermarket, then there's a pizzeria restaurant with a small catering facility, and then it goes, there's a small Greek restaurant, a hair salon, and Baskin Robbins as the end cap. So they calculated all the parking requirements and came up with that calculation of 263 required spaces, and the site's providing 203. That's why we have the shortfall of 60 spots as it relates to the building zone ordinance and its requirements. In order to determine the level of activity that currently exists on the property, we performed observations of the parking on the subject on Friday, November 21st, 2025, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. It's on page 2 of 4. And then again on Saturday, November 22nd, 2025, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 9 p.m.
And during those times, Mr. Mueller, aside from the 3 businesses that aren't operating, which businesses were operating, if you know?
It would be Holiday Farms, the supermarket. That's the anchor tenant. Yeah, they were there. There's a rehab PT place next door to that.
Was it open?
It was open, yep. Then there's a pizzeria / restaurant called the Oliveto. They have a catering component. They were there. The next thing would be a New Generation Karate facility, which is there. Then there's a Greek Express. They were
What is
there.
it called?
Greek Express. Express, Xpress. Yeah, they don't spell it the right way. Then there's vacant. There's a nail salon, excuse me. Memory Nails, I don't know why they call it that, but they do. Next to that is the Bagel Cafe, which is under construction. It was pretty much fitted out, but there was no activity. The cases weren't full. They had the refrigerators were all in, but nothing was there. Then the vacant space, which is the subject of the application today. Then there's a hair salon called Insight. And then the last tenant is Baskin and Robbins.
So all of them were open, let's see,
What he said.
1 p.m. on Saturday, and 11 a.m.
Yes. So everything that was there was open and operating when we were there. And what we found was that based on the observations that we performed on those days between the hours that I just indicated, the peak parking activity on Friday occurred at 1 p.m., in which 107 vehicles were parked, translating to 53% occupancy, leaving 96 vacant parking spaces. On Saturday, November 22nd, the peak parking activity occurred at 11:30 a.m. and 11:45 a.m., at which point, again, there were 107 vehicles parked, translating to a 53% occupancy, leaving 96 vacant parking spaces. So in both times that we observed the activity on the property, there was a significant amount of vacant parking spaces. The next part of our analysis, what we did was we assumed, we actually calculated a parking generation rate based on the activity that we saw at the center. We figured based on the mixture of uses within the center, it would be, probably pretty certain that the uses within the vacant spaces would adhere to those ratios. So based on our observations, the ratio of parking provided on the property was 3.06 vehicles parked per 1,000 square feet, which is very much in line with what the industry standard Institute of Transportation Engineers Parking Generation Manual would determine for a mixture of retail and restaurant uses within a shopping center similar to the one that's constructed on the subject property. As indicated on page 3 of 4, we computed the level of activity for the proposed Health and Fitness Club utilizing the ITE statistics. However, we utilized the observed rates for the vacant retail tenants which are currently on the property. The results of our analysis indicated that we would have determined, assuming that everything occurred during the peak times, that would be 1 o'clock on Friday, that there would be 148 vehicles parked, translating to a 73% occupancy, leaving 55 vacant parking spaces on the property. And then on Saturday, assuming that all the activity occurred during the peak hours, it would translate to 140 vehicles parked, a 69% occupancy, leaving 63 vacant parking spaces. As Mr. Bonesso indicated, based on the discussions with the applicant and based on the way that health and fitness centers operate, it's very complementary to the existing uses on the property. Their peak activity occurs during the morning hours and then later in the afternoon. Based on our observations, both on Friday and Saturday, the peak times were during the midday. So therefore, it's very complementary. The last part of our analysis, we estimated the quantity of traffic generated by the proposed Health and Fitness Club, and as indicated on page 3 of 4, It's a relatively low level of traffic that would be generated. And one thing that's nice about this shopping center as it relates to the activity of the health club is that it wouldn't be out of the realm of somebody to bring their child to, say, work out at the health club and then do their food shopping at the supermarket Holiday Farms, right? And then combining trips. It makes a lot of sense. And they will also have the hair salon, the nail salon, the karate place. So you're going to get a lot of synergy.
One-stop shopping.
Exactly, which is why, they group all the uses together within a shopping center. It helps bring down the overall parking demand. So therefore, based on the analysis that we performed, as enumerated in my December 4th, 2025 report, it is my professional opinion that the granting of the relief required to allow the fitness use to occupy the vacant retail space will not create any undue traffic congestion or hazard, and that there's adequate parking, or more than adequate parking, provided on the property to satisfy the demand of the proposal before the board this afternoon, as well as the existing vacant space within the retail shopping center. I'm happy to answer any additional questions.
If there are no further questions or no questions from Mr. Mueller, that's our direct presentation. Nassau County Planning Commission recommended local determination.
Did anyone sign in this case?
I'd also just like to say Happy New Year.
Same to you. Any questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Vanessa, Mr. Mueller, and anyone else who signed in on the case will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered.
Thank you.
Second, all in
Mr. Vanessa.
favor?
Can I
Any
talk?
opposed?
Next, we have cases 2126 through 2226, Wanta, Lisa McElravy. Variances, lot area occupied, side yards aggregate, rear yard, construct addition attached to dwelling, variance, side yards aggregate, maintain deck attached to dwelling, also known as 3251 Mark Allen Drive. Hi. Hi. If you could stand, please stand. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the true self you got? Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
Hello, my name is James Lerner, 424 Madison Street, Westbury, New York. And I'm here with the applicant, Lisa McElravy, who's sitting next to me.
Closer.
Let's get closer.
Can't hear you either. Go on, sir.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. We are here for a variance for a few different items. And what I'm going to do is give you a few numbers for what we're asking for. And I'm going to let Lisa talk about why we're here and what we need and why we're doing this variance. First of all, we're here for a rear addition to the dwelling. The lot area occupied, we're asking for 35.9%, where 30% is allowed. The side yard aggregate is 12.01 feet, where 15 feet is required. And the rear yard is 11.9 feet, where 15 feet is required. It's a one-story addition. And we're also here for a side deck. We're here for the side yard aggregate, which is 12.1 feet, where 15 feet is required. And I'm going to ask Lisa to state why we need these things in this case.
Good afternoon, board members. Thank you for letting me speak. I'm going to start with the rear addition. I am a single parent of a 36-year-old son who has IDD, intellectual and developmental disability, with a diagnosis of cerebral palsy. He's sitting in the back of the room right now. My son, Andrew, resided in the past 5 years in two group homes, actually. The first group home was horrendous. and I chalked it up to it being maybe the house manager, whatever. The second home that he ended up in was even worse. There was a sexual assault, which the person is serving time in jail now, and there was a death. So at that point, I decided that was not the place for him, and took him home in May of 2025. And with him living in my house, it wasn't really kind of working. He needed his independence. He needed, some privacy. I needed privacy. He needs 24/7 care. So people are coming in and out of the house. If he's in the bathroom, I can't be in the bathroom, and so on. I really swore that I would never want him to go into a group home again. And this was my option that I came to. So the addition would serve his area, a living space, giving him enough room to maneuver in his wheelchair. It will give enough room for whoever's caring for him to care for him safely. And he could have guests over whenever he wants. This would just increase his independence. And also, I would love for him to continue living in the house that he lived in for 25 years, in the neighborhood that he lived in for 25 years, and the community that he lived in for 25 years. As far as the deck, I guess that would be sort of my space to go out, have a cup of coffee or whatever, since that is the access to the side door. There would be no access actually to the backyard except for the ramp. So
May I ask you, I see you need lot area occupied, side yard and side yard aggregate, but I noticed that this addition to the house, not the deck, but the addition that you need for this purpose,
yes,
it doesn't encroach in the side yards any more than your existing house. You're kind of going straight back.
correct.
So it's really not going to affect any of the neighbors anymore as it relates to your side neighbors. And then
Correct.
other than that, it's just the lot area occupied.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, and let me add that the reason we're going over is we need a certain amount of room in the bathroom, so handicap access, so it's a little bit bigger than it would have to be. And then the other thing is, we're not really separating Andrew's area from the house. We're doing it in a way that there's still a connection, they still can interact with each other, but we have a French door that gives him a little bit of privacy.
Right. Yes, and it would also give me an opportunity to provide a little bit of oversight for those who are coming in to care for him.
Understood.
Any other questions from the board? If not, can I have a motion, please?
Mr. Regano, Chairman, I move that case number 21 and 22 of 2026 be granted as requested.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What's the name of that guy representing?
Mhm.
You're welcome.
Next, we have case 2326 South Hempstead, Angeline Paul and Janessa Cadet. Special exception for proposed daycare in portion of existing building and parking in the front yard setback on Georgia Street and Irene Street. Variance in off-street parking and insufficient stall size, also known as 1078 through 1096 Grand Avenue.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Dominic Minerva and D'Agostino, 107 South Central Avenue, Valley Stream, New York. Angeline Paul, 195 Rutland Road, Hempstead, New York, 11550.
The application before you today is to permit the establishment of a daycare facility in the shopping center located at 1078 through 1096 Grand Avenue in South Hempstead. Subject premises is located at the southwest corner of Grand Avenue and Irene Street and is also known as Section 36, Block 194, Tax Lot 509 on the Nassau County Land and Tax Map. The existing shopping center is located in a business zone. It was constructed in 1954. The shopping center is currently occupied by a window store, nail salon, beauty salon, barber shop, restaurant, and a lawyer's office, but the lawyer's office, I believe, is vacant, as when I visited the site, there was a for rent sign. And the only other space is the subject space. The applicant has leased the space at the north end of the shopping center for purposes of establishing a daycare operation. There is an existing parking lot to the rear of the shopping center with existing parking in the front yard setback that services the tenants. It contains 21 spaces, whereas 50 spaces are required per code for the entire shopping center. There are no expansions or additions to the building proposed. And the change of use is parking requirement neutral per code. So it's just under 1,500 square feet on the first floor. If it's retail or office, that would be 7 to 8 spaces. The requirement for the daycare use is 7.1 spaces. So it's parking neutral as a result of the change of use. It's the applicant's position that converting the vacant office or retail space to a daycare will be less of a burden on the existing parking lot than if the space was reoccupied by retail or office operation, as is pickup and drop-off only, and parking is needed for employees only, producing less demand than an operation that would have employees plus customers, clients, or patients parking. The parking lot is wide at the location of this operation, the north end, providing sufficient area for pickup and drop-off. And the parking lot runs through from Georgia Street to Irene Street, avoiding the necessity of any turnaround movements for parents picking up or dropping off their children. The site will service up to 17 children, and the applicant has over 30 years' experience working with children and a master's degree in early childhood education. The times the parents drop off or pick up their children will be staggered. So it's not operated like a school where all 17 children are dropped off or discharged at the same time. The children are accepted throughout the morning and picked up throughout the afternoon and early evening. Each child would take less than 1 minute to pick up. So with 17 children, you're talking less than 17 minutes of pickup and drop-off time over a 2 to 3 hour period in the morning and the afternoon. Very de minimis operation. In connection with the special use permit, the subject premises is across the street from a schoolyard and fences at the backyard of homes across Grand Avenue. It's buffered by the parking lot to the rear of the building before any residential homes. And there's a home to the north, and to the south is a residential home followed by a gas station.
Mr. Minerva, I'm sorry, I don't see any of the parking spots that are insufficient size. Can you point me to them? I see, most of them all seem by 9 by 18 from what I can tell.
This is an angled parking spot, so it goes by the chart. This one has to be 20, it's only 18.
Oh, the angled have to be 20 by 9? They're all angled though.
It goes by the degree, and if you look at what Joe calculated out.
Oh, one of them had to be 20 by 9, I guess? I never heard of that.
Yeah.
I don't know the specifics, but I know there's different size stall requirements for different angles.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. My plans say that that's 30 and yours say it's 60.
No, says it's 30.
Why does it say
Corrected
60?
it. This is Joe correcting, this is Joe's.
Oh, so then they corrected it and put
Yes,
it on
they
ours.
corrected it on
So
ours.
because that is 30, it has to be 20 by 9. Wow,
So that's a
learn something new every day. So it's just the one that you need stall size on.
As per Becky, yes.
Okay, well, that's good. The rest are of adequate size.
Okay, so I have photos that I took on December 31st, 2025, that accurately and fairly represent the subject premise and surrounding properties, and I'm going to submit that as applicant's Exhibit A.
And we will accept those. And we'll accept those in evidence since you qualified your introduction.
Thank you. It is our position that this use will be more beneficial and less onerous than this space being reoccupied by additional retail stores or office space, and therefore is in compliance with the special use permit criteria pursuant to Section 267 of the Building Zone Ordinance, as it will not cause a significant traffic problem, will not have a substantial adverse effect on property values, will not overtax municipal services, and is not a substantial fire or emergency risk. We request your favorable consideration and remain available for any questions.
Okay, Mr. Minerva, I have 17 spots, 18 if you move the clothing bin. Am I missing some?
Yeah, so there's,
Oh, and the disabled spots.
yes, so there's 3 there. There's 2 handicapped and 1 regular next to the the ADA accessible.
18, 19, 20, 21 if you, wait. 18, 19, 20, 21 with the clothing bin, is that right?
Yes,
And what was required?
50. And that's for the shopping center either way, because our space needs 7, and if it was converted back to retail or office, it would need 7. So either way, you need 50 for the shopping center.
What was it before you?
It was 50. Oh, well, so our information is that it was a tutor time. The immediate past tenant, I believe, was a tutor time.
Was tutor, yes, a
So
tutor.
they just didn't, they must have needed.
Well,
variance.
as an office, there would have been a straight permit. I don't believe a tutor time would have needed any zoning relief.
The entire 7 are a function of this conversion.
Correct, but the same 7 that the tutor time would have needed. It's not 7 additional.
Okay, so they didn't have a permit.
They did not need a variance. So it was office space. So the tutor time, my understanding, that would just be an office use, and therefore they could have went right into the space without a parking variance.
I thought you said they need the same 7 you need.
Yes, because it's office. So the old office space needed 7, and our daycare operation needs 7.
And they didn't have a variance though, right?
No, I'm not aware. Right. So the space, the shopping center requires 50 and has 21, and our space would have needed 7 either way.
Do you know if there are already variances for the difference?
Yes, there was a variance in 1968, and I believe it's on the search sheet.
Or how many, do you know?
I do not know.
I'm just wondering how we got to this. If you need 7 and the equation is 51 to 21.
Right.
Are there variances to make up whatever 29 minus 7, 22, the other 22?
I believe there was, let's see, I think I have the search sheet. Hold on.
Okay, search sheet. I guess, just because. But the thing is, they need 51. They need 50, they have 21. And he needs a 7-spot variance, but were the variances already granted for the other numbers, Because they travel with you, they do. Becky, do we know how you got here? Okay. I'm just curious,
I believe the shopping center was built with a permit in 1954, and then in 1968, I think it was a restaurant application that got a variance.
What is it?
What is it?
Needed 21, had 11?
No, that's the permit number.
Oh, okay. Do we know how many spots it was for?
I don't see a search sheet in here.
or the building department wouldn't have. If they weren't granted already, right, Becky, the building department would have hit them for more.
How do you get into this place? It's a change of use, so a change of use would require it to go before this board. No, that's not.
Seven, but what I'm saying is the whole shopping center needs 50 spots. They have 21. He's asking for a 7-spot variance.
Well,
Yeah.
according to the denial, I'm asking for 29.
Oh, so there isn't a prior grant.
Well, there was. I'm just saying the denial said 50 required, 21 provided. That's what the denial said.
But did it say?
I don't think it took into account the prior variance. No, I
No,
don't
because
believe.
When we grant a variance, we grant a number,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So one question is, do you need a 7-spot variance because someone else got the other 22, multiple people? So the
Oh, I
property
found the
owner
search sheet.
benefits from that? Or do you need the whole 29?
My position is that if there was a prior variance, so I should not need the whole 29. And our application is really parking neutral, 7 versus 7 for that same
Understood.
space.
Okay.
So I found it. It's,
Says something.
so off-street parking and expansion of existing restaurant, 1968-2111. Does it say the number of spaces?
The restaurant required, where is it? Therefore, 12 spots. 54 parking spaces.
Mhm.
That must be the whole center.
Yeah, the whole center required 100 parking spaces. Total parking provided 27.
20.
27.
So they had a,
27 space variance?
They had a 54 parking space.
wait,
Yeah.
the whole shopping center then required 100 and they provided 27 and they were allowed to go ahead. Isn't that a 73 spot? So what's the variance?
I didn't get 54 on it.
So why does he even have to come?
Well, we need the special exception
No,
for
no,
the
separate
daycare
from that,
use.
though, the parking, they were granted 54-spot variance. All right,
You
whatever.
don't even need it.
Okay. Yeah, I just,
Okay.
but I don't want to grant 7 more. Never mind, we'll figure it out.
Yes, we're here asking for the parking variance because that's the way it was denied. Again, it's a neutral change per code, and we need the special exception either way to be able to change the use.
Okay. Any other questions from the board?
I got a question.
Wait,
I'm Mr. Minerva.
wait.
How you doing? Good afternoon.
Hold on, wait. It's an alteration of parking spot. He's taking away spots here and put spots here.
It's just weird.
7 and 7.
That's why it's altering the parking.
Yeah.
Thank you, Becky.
Mr. Plumer?
Hi, Child Care Center, how many kids are going to be
17,
17? And are you going to, is the space being renovated?
yes.
So
Yeah,
it's
we
good-
have plans filed that were the basis of this denial that showed the renovations.
So the picture that you're showing me, it's going to look much nicer.
Well, the interior renovations. It'll be interior alterations. The whole shopping center, I think, is that red brick building, so.
And are the children local? Are they like local kids that are coming for?
Okay, so
The
you
children?
anticipate, so this is proposed, but do you anticipate that it'll be local families that are going to be using your services?
Oh, yes, it's gonna be local, definitely. That's for the neighborhood and the community, yes.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Minerva, you and your client will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, have a good day.
Thank you, have a great day.
Next, we have case 2426, Merrick JLP and Associates Incorporated, variances subdivision of lot area, front yard setbacks on Camp Avenue and Montauk Avenue, front width from an on-street line to front setback line, construct dwelling with garage, Plot B, northwest corner of Camp Avenue and Montauk Avenue. Additionally, we have case 2526, Merrick Joseph Pagari, variances subdivision of lot area, front width from and on street line to front setback line, maintained dwelling, plot A, also known as 1711 Camp Ave.
I wasn't invited.
Swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Please take a seat, state your name and address for the record.
There is it. What is that, a swearing in?
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Benesso for Celli Deegan Tirana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York, here on behalf of the applicant, Joe Pagari and JLP. Seated to my right is Mr. Joe Pagari. He's the principal of the LLC. Can you state your address, please?
Yes. Joseph Pagari, 2591 Mariners Avenue, Wantaw, New York, 11793.
The application before the board this afternoon involves a parcel of property situated in Merrick at the northwest corner of Montague Avenue and Camp Avenue. It is comprised of 4 old filed map lots, 239, 240, 241, and 242. In terms of the tax lots, it's 2 lots, 239 and 241. The application, as much as it's listed as a subdivision, these properties, it's to maintain one existing building on the westerly lot and to build a new single-family dwelling on the easterly lot. As much as it's listed as a subdivision, that the existing house was built and based on a building permit, and was issued a CO for just that that left, if you will, that westerly half of the overall property. The properties were held in separate deeds based on everything that I've looked at. But nonetheless, the existing lot that remains on the corner is deficient based upon Residence B standards. So that needs variances for lot area and lot width. The lot width on Camp Avenue is 51.35 feet, while 55 is required. The existing house is also on 51.35 feet of width. That lot with the existing house is, just one second, 5,007 square feet, and the lot to contain the proposed house will be 5,593 square feet.
Mr. Benesso, I missed why, given what you've said about separate, single and separate and all the rest of it, and that the building permits for the westerly house reflected only the confines of that lot. Why are you here?
Well, that's a good question.
The properties came into common ownership in 1954, so therefore they came into common ownership, has to be subdivided.
There you go. That's what we were told by the building department.
The permit was issued on the other application, and the wrong final survey was signed.
Okay, thank you.
So, for all intents and purposes, these were separate lots with a house built on one and the other one being vacant, held separately in separate deeds. In order to develop the existing lot that is on the corner, as indicated, we need lot area, lot width relief, and we also need a front yard setback relief for the setbacks from Camp Avenue and Montague, as opposed to the 25 feet required. We have 19 proposed and 21.4 feet proposed, but that's to the base of a small set of steps. It's actually 25 feet to the house itself on Camp Avenue. A review of the radius map will reveal that on the north side of Camp Avenue, you'll find every lot on the radius map having lot widths of a similar size and lot areas of a similar size. Nothing is out of the ordinary about this proposed subdivision as deemed by the building department. In fact, it'll be more in keeping with the pattern of development and the character of the neighborhood than the present site is, with the large vacant space along the easterly side. Mr. Pagari, I've worked with many, many years. He's a very good builder. He always engages the community. Mr. Pagari, in this case, did you poll the neighbors in the area on this proposed project?
I have, yes.
Can you tell us what efforts you made?
Um, The the immediate effort I made directly was the neighbor that was most impacted was the neighbor to the, I guess that would be the north, Mr. Casimir, who's had no problem with the application. I stayed along Camp Avenue on the same side as the property, and we went all the way to the corner of Meadowbrook Road. Every single one of those houses are 50, basically 50, the same size, some even smaller. So I didn't really have anybody on the other side of the property that was more like a bank-owned property, so I didn't really have anybody to speak to there. But that's been fixed up and sold now, so there's nobody living in there yet.
So anybody that you spoke to in the area had no objections to this?
That's probably because most of the other people in the area own lots of similar size.
I would tend to agree.
I would venture to say that you would be hard pressed to find another area that would have so many substandard lots similar to the one that you want to create.
Because it's not that substantial.
It's not.
Right. Very true. Certainly, it's not out of character with the surrounding properties in the area. The house proposed is a colonial, all the living spaces on the first floor. All the living space on the second floor, and the typical inline colonial. We will accept all the standard conditions imposed by the board on homes, including for both lots an owner-occupied requirement going forward.
No exterior staircases to the basement?
Are there exterior staircases?
No, sir.
To the basement? There's no outside entrance to the basement? No,
Just the egress window.
just an egress window. That's our direct presentation.
New house contains a garage?
I didn't hear.
The house has a garage, yes.
Has a garage.
Interior.
The new house has a garage. The existing house is a frame garage that's to be removed, but there will be a parking space.
Okay.
I was there yesterday. The existing garage is very nice. It's going to be a shame to demolish that should the board grant the case.
Why is
It
it?
looks better than it is.
The, the house is very attractive.
Yeah.
It is an attractive house. The
New
existing
house or
house.
the old house? The
The
existing?
existing house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now you're going to cut off your driveway also to the garage, obviously.
Yeah, but I put the driveway on the other side.
Facing on Camp Avenue.
Yeah, exactly, yes, sir.
Which house are you going to live in?
Oh, he's not going to
I
live.
don't want to live there.
Whoever he sells them to it'll be a requirement for owner occupancy. Mr. Pagari is a builder, as I said. He's built many homes in the town. He's always done very good work.
What town do you live in? Not what town, what neighborhood?
I'm in Wantua.
Any other questions from the board? If not, do I have a motion?
Move the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Vanessa, you and your client will be notified by mail of the board's decision once it's rendered. Thank you.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I would have got that.
So I was able to stand up.
Yes, thank
Find
you.
it.
Thank you for asking.
I was like, stand up, find it, and it was there. But another one I had dropped, I didn't know, it was flying off. Kim and Christina and I looked for it everywhere in there. And I can't find it.
So,
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Vanessa. You could put it in the,
You want me up here, Bill, or you want me to go?
I ran into him yesterday. I see him more here than I do at my home. He'll tell you that too.
Okay, next, we have case 2626, East Meadow Clear Meadow LLC, renewal of grant to maintain one detached 5-part double-face illuminated ground sign, overall size 384 square feet, overall height 28 feet, setback 16 feet from Hempstead Turnpike, northwest corner Hempstead Turnpike and Newbridge Road, also known as 2411 and 2465 Hempstead Turnpike, Clear Meadow Mall. Additionally, we have cases 27 through 29, 26, East Meadow Walmart Real Estate Business Trust, variance in off-street parking, expand existing Walmart, install animated sign not permitted on existing detached ground sign, install 2 double-faced detached directional signs exceeding permitted height, 8 foot 6 inches from grade, exceeds 2 square feet in area, 3 square feet proposed, also known as 2411 through 2465 Hempstead Turnpike, Clear Meadow Mall.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Please take a seat and state your name and address for the record.
Good afternoon again, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. William Bonesso for Chelly Deegan Tarana, 333 Earl Ovington Boulevard, Uniondale, New York. Here on behalf of the applications under case numbers 27 through 29. And this is in connection with the East Meadow shopping center known as the Clear Meadow Mall. It is a parcel situated on the northwest corner of Hempstead Turnpike and Newbridge Road in East Meadow. It is an improved shopping center with a number of pad site buildings at the front or southerly end of the property, and then a large Walmart and what used to be a Stop and Shop on the westerly portion of the building situated in the back of the property or the north side of the property. Seated to my right is Mr. Ethan Chukosky. He is with TPD Engineering. He is a transportation engineer who has been qualified by this board on multiple occasions in the past to provide expert opinion testimony in the areas of traffic and parking. We'll be asking that he be permitted to do so again. Also here today are representatives from Walmart. Mr. Jason Klippa is here, and Mr. Bob Rosenberg is here on behalf of Breslin Realty, the owner of the shopping center and the management company that manages the shopping center. And they're all available to answer questions that the board might have. We also have Mr. Alec Kaczynski from Bowler Engineering, our site engineering firm. But before calling on any of them, or if the board wants to hear from them, I'm going to just give the board an overview of what's proposed here. As mentioned, the existing Walmart used to be adjacent to a Stop and Shop. The Stop and Shop closed some time ago and has been vacant. Walmart intends to move into the vacant Stop and Shop space and turn the Walmart into a Walmart supercenter, which will provide the community with a supermarket that was lost when Stop and Shop closed. In doing so, they are, and Breslin Realty is doing some significant upgrades to the overall center. They are adding a vestibule to the front of the space that is to be the supermarket portion of the property, the old Stop and Shop property. And by the way, I apologize. I did hand up some handouts that the board could look through, which have the site plan, have an aerial view, and then have some other relevant information that we could provide. In doing so, they are also making modifications to the parking lot, which we certainly feel, and you can, if the board wants to hear in detail from the site engineer, he will support this. We feel that it will make the operation of the center work actually much better. They are going to be modifying the parking lot to add more cart corrals. They are adding EV chargers to the site, and they are also relocating, whereas Stop and Shop used to have their customer pickup areas in front of the Stop and Shop. The customer pickup area for the entire Walmart, grocery and everything else, will now operate on the easterly side of the property in the spaces that are adjacent to or right across the drive aisle from the east side of the Walmart building. That whole area there will be strictly for the customer pickup area. Thus, you're isolating the customer pickup area in that one location, and the rest of the parking lot is now fully available for cars parking to utilize the Walmart and actually park and go inside. What you too often find when you have mixed customer pickup areas with regular parking areas is that the customer pickup areas turn into parking spaces. I don't know how many times I've gone to the Walmart and on the Walmart or the Total Wine right on Old Country Road, and you go into the customer service spots, and I look around and the cars around me are empty because they're actually parked and they're going inside. This will make the customer pickup area isolated along the easterly side of the property, and it also keeps all the traffic for that along there, thus making the operation of the parking lot a little smoother and a little less burdened.
Referring to that kind of aisle that goes along on the eastern side along Walmart?
Correct. Yes,
So
and that
your idea is they come in and then they can go down there and then there's that exit area down there?
correct. And there is that some of the relief that we're requesting is for 2 directional signs that are over there. They're slightly higher than permitted. They're 8 foot 6 inches versus 7 feet, and they're slightly larger, 3 feet versus 2 square feet. And they will direct the customer people entering the facility to the customer pickup areas. That's 2 of the sign reliefs we need. We are also asking for relief for what is deemed an animated sign. The existing sign, the pylon sign, there's only one sign, identification sign for this entire shopping center, and it's out on Hempstead Turnpike. It's a large sign, and it has several different spaces on it for different tenants. The proposal is to add an EV charging price sign to that, which would be electronic because the rates change and so does the cost of charging at the EV station. So that's the only thing that is going to be animated. It's not going to be flashing. It's not going to be rolling. It's not going to be anything more than just a price sign. And when the price for the charging changes, the price will change on the sign.
15 and 16?
Pardon?
They're both at 15 and 16 you're talking about on the site plan. Out in the front.
May I see what you're referring to?
Someone else highlighted. The directionals are 13 and 14, and I think you named 15 and 16.
Yes, correct.
I just want to.
Ms. Vadesso, those charging stations, they're not just a box like a parking meter that you plug in your unit. They have transformers and other apparatus with them, correct?
They typically do have structures associated with them, and because of that, they're typically a little wider than the standard parking space. That has cut into some of our parking. That's part of the reason why we need.
How many is he having?
Right.
How many are you having?
And they're also not counted towards our parking. If you notice, when you look at the parking calculations, the 7 EV chargers that are included are not counted towards our parking spaces. The building department has a policy. If you're entitled to park in an EV charging station, whether you're an electric vehicle or not, then you can be counted. These will, however, be strictly for EV vehicles, electric vehicles, so consequently we can't count them towards our parking count.
Just out of curiosity, how does the pricing work?
That I
You have an
couldn't,
electrical car.
that I couldn't tell you. I mean, I have,
Is it like by the hour, by the minute?
It's a period of the day.
Probably by the kilowatt, maybe?
we could
Oh,
find
no,
out.
no, I was just curious. I thought, for my edification.
But it does change from day to day, and as a result, rather than have to put somebody up there with a new number and, attach it, this way it's electronic, so it can be changed easily.
So would it,
But it doesn't flash, it doesn't scroll, nothing like that.
Can we, with all due respect, can we stick to the application at hand rather than talk about the cost of charging at an EV station?
Fine,
Move on.
fine.
Mr.
I'm sorry, did you have something else?
Chairman, those parking spaces, the electric chargers, they require transformers and other attachments to them, and does that require a separate building permit from the building department? They have I've seen the one that's near the BJ's on Hempstead Turnpike, I think it's a Wendy's over there. There are two enormous boxes that, I don't know what's in them, but they kind of look spooky, if you say.
I believe on the site plan, sorry, I didn't do my introduction.
No, that's all right.
There's one transformer proposed in the southeast corner for those 7
Have to be
spaces.
somewhere.
And are they, Becky, do they require special permits? And are they given as of right? I know it's a new thing, but.
Technology.
It's a relatively new situation,
Yes.
and our legislation has not caught up with the actual actions that are being taken. So I really can't answer your question.
Understood, and I appreciate your position.
I could, just from dealing with these in the past, I can tell you that the building department, as I noted, if you have a EV space that is open to everyone, it's counted as a parking space. But as noted, some of these EV spaces, because of the additional equipment they have, they're a little wider than the standard one, and you typically lose spaces. If you lose spaces, you have to ask for a parking variance.
I'm more concerned about what is in those boxes.
Well, obviously, the building department will determine if and when we need a separate permit for them, but as of now, they permit them to go in as part of the project, as far as my understanding. I've never been told that we need a separate permit for that.
Depending upon the situation at hand, it's taken on a case-by-case basis and may be determined that they need separate permits. Sometimes they don't. It all depends on what the situation is.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And when this was presented to the building department, they were called out, and the building department was made aware that there would be EV chargers. So if there was a separate denial that we needed, it would have been issued.
If they caught up with you, I got it.
Right.
Thank you.
So back to the modifications that are being made. So in addition to the signage I just described, we need the 2 directional signs. We need the permission to have the animated sign. We're also seeking under the separate case number, well, it's actually listed just as in the notice as number 26, and that's the renewal of the existing pylon sign. The report in the BZA file indicates that it is in compliance, but we are modifying that sign anyway, so this new grant will act as a new approval for that sign. Turning to
The new sign, is the existing sign animated?
the existing sign is lit from within. It is interior lit, but it's not. It does not have an animated feature to it. That's the relief that's being requested here.
Why is that necessary? Because it's a motorist distraction.
Well, it's only for the ease of changing the price indication on the EV chargers. If they had to, they want to present to their customers before their customers enter the site what the price of the EV chargers is. So that A, they don't think that they're free, and B, that they know what it costs. Because I don't own an electric vehicle, so I don't know what the rates are if one rate is better than another. But people who own EVs, I'm sure, know that, and typically Walmart has the lowest prices around, so it may be the best way to indicate to people what it is. And those prices change, I imagine, which is why it's electronic. they change, so they want to be able to change
It's
them.
only going to indicate the pricing on the EVs, no other.
It'll just be, correct, it'll just be the price, the EV price. It's, like I said, no scrolling, no flashing, nothing to that effect, just a steady price number, and that could change day to day.
Thank you.
Okay. With regard to the parking, as indicated, adding cart corrals, adding chargers, modifying the site for crosswalks and the like. The site presently works under a parking variance that was issued back in, back in 1999. At that time, it was nearly an 18% parking variance. With the modifications that are being made here and the additional vestibule space and some other space that triggers the need for more parking, they will now have a 28% parking variance for the overall site. 1,066 spaces required. That's not just for the Walmart, but that's also for the buildings on the south end of the property, and a total of 765 stalls are provided. So the deficiency is about a 28% deficiency. That said, in a moment, you'll hear from Mr. Shukowski as to why the site as proposed will accommodate that. And in fact, the site will be improved, we think, from a circulation standpoint based upon the removal and relocation of the customer pickup area. In addition to that, it's a significant upgrade to the building. The building is going to be painted. There's going to be some new facade work. The lighting on the property is going to be replaced with new lower lights. Right now, I believe the lights are at 16 feet high. They're now going to be at 13 feet high. More importantly, they're state-of-the-art lights, such that they now have much more control over the field of light. They're much more controllable. They shed a lot less light off the property. So all of that is going in as well. But other than that, they're not adding loading docks. They're not adding any other outdoor areas, particularly in the rear and side of the property where residents back up to the property. There is already significant fencing around the property, and down on the easterly end near Newbridge Road, it's about 6 feet high, but then it rises to as much as 8 and 10 feet as you wrap around to the westerly side of the building. It is solid PVC fencing. We have pictures in the packets that we've provided you showing that it's in good repair and it's rather substantial. The board back in 1999 imposed restrictions on delivery times for this facility, indicating that there were to be no deliveries occurring on the north side of the property, on the north side of the building, I should say, between the hours of 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. We are not seeking to change that. We are maintaining that. The property is presently posted with signage that indicates that there are no deliveries permitted between 7 a.m. and 10:30 p.m. And there are gates that are at the southwest portion of the building and southeast portion of the building that are closed at 10:30 and then reopened again at 7 a.m. to prevent vehicles from going in the back.
Wait, Mr. Manesso, we usually don't want people delivering in the nighttime, but you're saying here?
Oh, what did I say?
It was just.
I'm sorry. Yeah, excuse me. The restriction is from 10:30.
Oh, okay.
Is from 10:30 p.m.
You made a mistake.
The restriction is from 10:30 p.m. to 7 a.m. There are no deliveries permitted overnight between 10:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. If I stated it incorrectly, I apologize.
No, it's fine.
And that's the way it's posted. It's posted correctly, even if I'm not correct. The gates are there. There was one gate on the westerly side that was bent that is in working condition again, and they have on-site security, also a requirement of the board. They have on-site security for overnight that makes sure that the gates are closed and will do so in the future. And I would also add that with the entire building site and property management, I think that there'll be a significant improvement in terms of making sure that there are no vehicles parking back there, no people hanging out back there and the like.
Mr. Vanessa,
Yes.
forgive me, but I haven't shopped at Walmart. What are the hours of operation? They 24/7?
No, it's not 24/7. The hours of operation for Walmart, I have that one moment. It's 6 a.m. to 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. Those are the hours, and that's the hours currently, and that's what the hours will be going forward.
What were the hours for the supermarket that previously?
The Stop and Shop, I did ask that. Our client didn't know. I presume, I've been to many Stop and Shops. I think they're open till about 10 or 11 o'clock at night.
Probably about the same.
Probably.
Mine is open 24/7.
Some of them.
Really? No, I don't know of any Stop and Shops that are open 24/7, but the Walmart is not open 24 hours. It's 6 a.m. to 11 p.
All right, thank you.
Unless the board has any further questions about the site modifications and development, I'll turn it over to Mr. Strukowski. Yes, Mr. Pellegrini.
This board previously approved an application, as did the site plan go under review of the town board. Do you have those conditions that were, your client agreed to?
Yes.
Those two, and are you going to deviate from them?
No. No, we are going to comply. We're not asking to modify the decisions. I have the decision from August 18th, 1999, conditions 1 through, I guess, a total of 21. We're not seeking to modify any of the conditions. The main conditions that I've heard from neighbors and residents about pertain to 3. One is that no delivery shall be made to the rear northerly parking or yard of the subject premises between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. of the following morning. Operators of vehicles making deliveries to the subject premises shall be instructed not to idle motors or diesel engines, and such motors or diesel engines shall not be permitted to so idle. That's one. The other one is security shall be provided between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. of the following day, 7 days a week. And the third one is applicant shall provide chain link fencing with gates extending from the southeast corner of the northerly building perpendicular to the easterly property line, and from the southwest corner of the northerly building perpendicular to the westerly property line. The gate or gates will be kept closed between the hours of 11 p.m. and 7 a.m. of the following day, 7 days a week. And as indicated, we're not seeking to modify or change or relief from any. Walmart would have liked to have shortened the window of restrictions for deliveries. They typically have deliveries from 5:30 till 11, but based upon the conditions the board put in place in 1999, they are willing to remain with the conditions in place.
Do we have a copy of that for our council?
I can provide a copy to you.
Okay, so we have it. All right.
If I may, I'll have Mr. Strukowski provide his testimony in connection with the parking variance.
Mr. Tchaikovsky, you've previously been qualified as an expert in the area of parking and traffic before this board.
That's correct.
On any number of occasions. Since the last time you were qualified as such, have any of your qualifications changed?
No.
Then we will again allow you to testify in the expert capacity as to parking and traffic.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Ethan Tchaikovsky, TPD Engineering, 275 Broad Hollow Road, Melville, New York. We prepared a parking accumulation study dated November 20th, 2025 for the subject development. Mr. Bonesso explained the proposals very well.
Tchaikovsky, if I'm saying it incorrectly.
Strukowski.
TPD?
TPD.
TPD.
Okay, and it's dated November 20th.
November 20th.
All right, good. Thank you. I just want to follow along.
Yes. So there's Mr. Benesso gave a great overview of the site, but I just want to hit a couple points as I'm going through my testimony here. There's a minor expansion of they're taking over the Stop and Shop to the neighbors them to the west. They're doing some renovations, of course, with that, and there's a minor increase of about 2,000 square feet. But other than that, there's no significant changes to the layout of the buildings on the site. Despite no significant changes in building layout, there is a change in parking due to the improvements that Mr. Benesso described. So currently there are 864 spaces on the overall site. They're proposing to reduce that number to 768. That's a 90. I'm sorry?
Vanessa said 65. 765 or 768. May not matter. It's.
The total says 765.
Apologies, I must have it. It must be something in my notes.
All right.
It will not matter.
It's de minimis difference in this big number, but.
Apologies. The reason for the reduction was, as was stated, a number of reasons. Walmart has a higher standard for the number of ADA stalls that they require. They're actually proposing 22 ADA stalls at this site. Only about 11 or 12 are proposed for a building and parking lot of this size. That's one reason. Another reason being the EV charging that's being installed and the a mobile customer pickup on the eastern side of the building. I'll describe a little bit more of that operation later. We collected parking data at the site in September of 2025. For those I know you like to follow along. Table number 1.
November of 2025, did you, I couldn't
I'm sorry,
hear if you said 2 dates, you went away from the microphone. Were there 2 dates you named or just one?
I'm sorry, it was September of 2025. We went out during a weekday and a Saturday in September while school was in session during the week, of course. We observed the parking demand really specifically for the Walmart lease area. As shown in table 1 in the report, only about 38% of the site was occupied during our peak demand on Saturday. That's reasonable considering much of the building is not currently occupied.
Hold on. So it says here weekday, midday, observed demand, parking supply, occupancy. But you, in saying that, you referred to that as your peak demand. You said in our peak demand on that day, I thought.
Yes, 271 is the peak demand during the Saturday.
Oh, you weren't referring to the other one. I guess I didn't hear you clearly. So the Saturday time, what time was that during the day?
That was Saturday midday, so let me get the exact hour for you.
Here, I can see it above. It must be the 13th. Right above that.
Yeah, I thought you asked the time. That was September 13th.
11 to, yeah, I was. Is that 11?
11 to 5 p.m. is when we did our observation.
Okay, so
I thought you wanted the exact time. So.
Well, no, that would be considered a peak time for you guys, I would assume. Is
yes,
what you're saying?
Yes, for the Walmart.
Okay, and then the weekday midday, does Walmart consider that a peak time?
So we really did all afternoon. We went 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. for the weekday.
So the weekday midday was really 11 to 7. That's why you're characterizing it as peak time.
The afternoon. Yeah.
Well, it is a big chunk of the day. I could see how that would be, although I would think after work might be, but whatever. That's all I wanted to know, what the times were.
Yeah, no problem. So using the parking demand data we observed at the site, we calculated a parking rate, a peak parking rate of 2.31 vehicles per 1,000 square feet. That's on table 2.
2.31 per 1,000 square feet.
And then using that calculation, we took the observed parking demand, calculated the proposed demand for the expanded area, and projected a total parking demand. As shown on table 3, that would be 71% of the Walmart parking area. So I also took a look, that was the more conservative and I think more appropriate method of calculating the parking demand, giving the real world data here at this location. I also took a look at ITE for a discount supercenter of this size. It projects a peak parking demand of 350 stalls. So
Say
that's
it again?
using the ITE data. It projected a peak parking demand of 54 stalls during the Saturday midday.
For what? For this type of business and this size of business?
Correct.
For
Correct.
Walmart
What were the
Supercenter.
factors?
For
Size
Walmart Supercenter.
Size and use.
and type of business?
Yeah. So that 354, that was actually less than the observed rate in the field for this particular location. So we use the observed demand rate rather than the ITE.
So let me ask you, the
More-
Walmart's there, but it's being made larger, right?
Correct.
And when you did these calculations, or the observations, excuse me, when you did the observations as to the percentage occupied, percentage vacant, all that, how did you take into account, how did you make that reflect the projections for the big new Walmart from the small Walmart that you were counting?
Based on the size of the Walmart, we developed a parking demand rate based on the existing building.
So that's the
Walmart
2.31.
Yes.
You said, here's Walmart, 2.31 is what we basically got with our observations on our little magic equations. And so now for a Walmart this size, 2.31, here's what our need's going to be. Is that?
That's correct.
You did it, Mr. Vanessa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Mr. Chukowski is the expert, but what we're really talking about here is a Walmart and a supermarket that previously occupied this site and worked from a parking perspective, and now it's going to be a Walmart operating as a Walmart and a supermarket, operating the same amount of space, but for a vestibule, which should work the same way.
Yes, I think that makes sense.
That's correct. And you know, just to sort of wrap up the parking testimony, you know, based on our calculations, there would be, the Walmart lease area would be 71% occupied in the proposed condition during a peak demand, and with a reserve occupancy about 29% of the lot. So more than sufficient to accommodate the demand. I also just wanted to touch on the pickup stalls. You know, a lot, Mr. Benesso talked about it, but a lot of the redevelopment of the parking lot is to make it more efficient, is to improve how the circulation of the site works. One of the ways is adding more pickup locations in a more isolated area. I just wanted to also note they are expanding the sidewalk on the eastern portion of the site next to the building, adjacent to the building. That's to allow for the employees to really run those deliveries out more efficiently. And that resulted in some parking loss as well, because there were some parallel stalls where that sidewalk extension is going now. I mean, we found in our research that a typical stall, non-pickup stall, where you're parking and you're going into the store, those turnover rates are about 20 minutes. You know, on average, some longer.
Wow,
some short.
I got to get in that line.
I mean, obviously on a busy day that could take longer, but the pickup stalls are much quicker. They have a much, you know, you do the order on your app, you know, you let Walmart know when you're driving to the store, you park in the stall, let them know which stall you're in, and then they run the whatever you ordered out to you, and then you leave. So that turnover rate's much quicker. It's you know, on average about 3-minute turnover. So I say all of that to say that by rearranging the parking this way and providing more of those pickup stalls, it provides a more efficient parking demand by allowing for a quicker turnover. That's my testimony. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Unless the board has any additional questions, that's our direct presentation.
Okay, thank you. We have some people who have signed in opposition. How many of you would like to speak? Okay. No, come up here, sir. All right, Mr. Benesso, would you?
Well, Mr. Patrick's getting that area.
Is he? All right.
Maybe better not to let him get comfortable.
Okay. Swear him in. Good job there.
My name is Matthew Thomas. I live in this neighborhood past 26 years before the Walmart
Can we
and
have his
Stop and
address,
Shop
please?
built.
Can we have his address, please?
Your address?
I live in 111 Melanie Drive, the west side of Walmart. Actually, I'm 10 feet away from the Walmart and Stop and Shop. My house is located 10 feet away from the Walmart Stop and Shop building.
What's your last name, sir?
Thomas.
Thomas.
You can go ahead.
Yeah. So one thing I just want to make clear that I have a decision made from this room in 2011, and there's no truck loading and unloading after 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., which is Walmart and Stop and Shop continue refusing that order from this courtroom. And I have the letter too.
Sir, I think the restriction is from 10:30 to 7
Yeah, that's what he said, but the post also is the same. It's a 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., no deliveries. But
Where did you get those numbers?
this is a decision made from this room, 2011.
1999.
And also, the notice there, no deliveries, but they refuse, and also the gate is there, and the truckers come after 10, 11, 12. The guard open up the gate and let the truckers in and close the gate. We call the cop many times, and the cops come, the gate is closed, the truck is there doing the delivery. After the truck leave, the security guard open the gate and let them out. Cop can't see them because they gated inside the gate.
Where is that?
Also, the EV chargers never, they send us a notice that is never saying about the EV chargers anything. We totally refused accepting that decision they're making. It's bringing more traffic into our backyard, our neighborhood.
What about the EV chargers?
EV charger is going to bring more traffic and noise in our backyard. And doesn't say anything about the EV chargers on the letter they send out all the neighborhoods.
Well, my guess is they only needed to put in the notice the things that need us to decide on.
Understood.
So I think earlier we discovered that the EV chargers do not require a variance from us, so we aren't opining on the EV chargers. So that's why it's not included in the notice you
Okay,
received.
so that also brings more traffic. I'm there 26 years, since before this Walmart built, and they never accept our plea not to bring these truckers after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And this is like ongoing, and these people, they're representative, they don't live in that neighborhood. We do. They don't know what is going on. And also, there's a
2011? Okay.
I have my neighborhood. I have 24 people sign on this paper that opposing all this Walmart plan. It's not because we don't need a development, but they need to acknowledge the neighborhood that people also live in there, not only their business development. We are taxpayers in this town, and they don't listen to us even we call the police. The police could only do so much. The town needs to take in charge of this.
Did you obtain the signatures yourself?
Yes.
Okay.
And I
You
have,
took them. Do you want to show them to Mr. Benesso, please?
yeah, I have,
Patrick?
I've seen the petition. I think he's referring to the petition that was emailed to the
To
board.
the board?
and they have our neighbors here. There's more than 10 people here, 2, 4, 9, 10 of us. A lot of people couldn't show up because of the time, and there are a lot of people working.
Okay, hold on. Mr. Benesso, this is the same operator, just expanding the space, right?
This is the same what?
Operator? I don't know if it's a corporate store or a franchise store.
It's not the same operator because now it's Walmart.
Right.
Stop and Shop.
Oh, I thought Walmart was in part of it already.
Well, Walmart is
Walmart
there,
is.
and
Right.
Walmart is taking over the former
Right, that's what I thought.
Stop and
Okay.
Shop space.
So he's saying that on multiple occasions, despite the gate being there, someone's opening it and letting trucks unload.
There
on
is
a-
no enforcement. There is no.
Please, one second. So can you address that? Since it's your client who was same operator, that's why I was asking.
All I can say is that there is 24-hour, there is security there overnight, and the security is charged with the purpose of closing those gates and not permitting vehicles to do deliveries between 10:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. I'm advised by my client that that does not occur, that there are not deliveries occurring during those times.
Okay, is there some way that these people can have a phone number that if it does happen, they can call someone?
Some of them already do. I spoke with one person who already does, but I would be happy to provide them with a contact for both Breslin Realty and Walmart in the event that these violations are occurring.
Okay.
Also, we would like to have Walmart build sound barriers, at least 10 to 15 feet high around all the neighborhood. That way they control a lot of the noise and the pollution. Because the fence is a PVC fence. It's not doing enough. A lot of the.
Sorry, how high?
What's that?
How high?
Minimum 10 feet or 10 to 15 feet. We have a fence backyard, which is a lot of them. Some of them we built, and some of them Walmart built because of the noise. Prior to that, we at the same court. We were here. It's more than 2011, so it was quite a while ago. And also the delivery time to be reduced 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. It should be no delivery at all. We had to sleep.
I personally, I'm only one of 7, but now that's pushing it. They already have a big preclusion, which I think is a very reasonable one from the perspective of a neighbor. And
Not 11 o'clock, man, because they let these truckers in. They don't leave after delivery, which is take maybe an hour or 2 hours. So we're talking about 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. That's what he said. I live in that neighborhood. You don't. I live in the right backyard.
There's not activity occurring at 1 and 2 a.m. And the fact of the matter is, with respect, this gentleman, I think, indicated you've lived in your home how long?
26 years in that same house.
Okay.
Before Walmart opened, I was there.
But it has been a commercial shopping center for over 50 years.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. But they need to be controlled that. I'm not opposing all this, but they need to be controlled that delivery time.
My point is simply that, this has been a commercial shopping center, whether it was an interior mall or a Walmart and Stop and Shop for over 50 years. And people who bought homes next to it had to expect some commercial activities occurring.
It's an ongoing issue.
Now, the board imposed very reasonable and certainly from our standpoint, burdensome restrictions from the standpoint of deliveries, 10:30 at night to 7 a.m. in the morning. I know of many, many other sites that have far less restrictive hours for deliveries and activity. But we're willing to abide by that and continue to operate that way. Mr. Klippa from Walmart is here to just respond to one other item.
You need to swear me in.
Yeah, you gotta swear.
Do you swear from tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Please state your name and address for the record.
Jason Klippa, Walmart Public Affairs, 1150.
She's got to take it down.
Speak in the microphone.
Jason Klippa, Klippa, Walmart Public Affairs, 1152 May Street, Hummelstown, Pennsylvania, 17078. So I can speak specifically, we do not allow deliveries. I can't speak to what Stop and Shop did. I can speak to the fact that we do not allow deliveries in between those times. So I can't speak to any other business that was there.
Stop and Shop have the same rules, or?
I can't speak.
Okay, is it possible that what he was seeing was Stop and Shop deliveries? Okay.
Still.
Oh, okay. Just ask.
There's nobody's mind to ask. He live in Pennsylvania. I live in 111 Melanie Eastman, right behind a Stop and Shop and Walmart.
Okay,
And also, the important thing is the delivery time needs to be, they posted, but nobody obey that. The truckers, they come from long distance, they're not obeying that. The security guard is there like he's saying, but they open the gate. We personally, me and a couple other people went there many times. They don't listen to us. They say, oh, Walmart, or Stop and Shop, they have to do the delivery, and we can't stop that. They open the gate and let them in. And cops come, they don't see it because it's inside the gate already, because it's far from the street. You can't see it because right back of my house. I could see it, I could hear it. The idling, nobody enforcing. The diesel truck is there. A lot of kids around the neighborhood get asthma. Nobody cares. Walmart don't care.
hold on. Is the no idling one of your conditions?
Yes.
Yes.
We usually do put that on.
Yes.
It's supposed to there, but there's no enforcement.
That's why we mentioned the phone number thing. We'll get that dealt with.
I hope the delivery, the time, 7 p.m., we have granted here already, decision be made, 2011. I give the copy of it to the board, and that should be reinforced 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Christina, was this the document he provided about the 7 to 7?
No, it's the one.
'Cause this one says.
No, I gave it to Patrick. I gave it to
Oh, he must be copying it.
That was a 2011 case.
Oh, yeah, because 1999 was the
Yeah,
other.
1999 said 10 to 7. Or 10 to
Right,
7.
you're right, you're right.
This 2011 case had 50% of the times.
Okay. Okay, is that it, sir? So we can let the next person go?
Yeah, so those are the main reason. We're not opposing the development. These are the issues need to be addressed. That's what all of us here. And we have many other issues. My other neighbors are here. I want them to, speak also. Thank you.
Thank you.
I do. Good afternoon. My name is Susan Bandong. I live on 75 Melanie Drive, East Meadow. Where I'm standing now is where my bedroom is, and where you are is where the docking load, the compartment, compactor, and the gas tank where they put a fence around it. This has been going on since Mr. Gary Hughes and Robin Karp were in coordination with me and with other neighbors. Now, our biggest concern is the noise in the backyard, because, like, as my neighbor stated, that deliveries are not according to what we were informed about, 7 to 7. There are deliveries beyond 9 o'clock, and then there are deliveries beyond before 6 a.m. Now, the thing is, we're not going to win over their request, but what we're seeking is assistance from the Hempstead, from the town of Hempstead, how we are going to be protected by these issues, especially the noise. We're elderlies now. I've been living in the neighborhood for 32 years, and it's been going on since the letter that the papers that you received from my neighbor came from my file. And it's been going on from 2011, and it's already 2026, and it's still existing. Also, the employees in Walmart are playing loud music in the back where the docking load is while they're working, and that added to the noise, apart from the idle trucks and from the deliveries. And what's concerning is if the small Walmart is creating all this noise, there'll be more noise coming from the bigger Walmart, and that would be our biggest concern. You see, the value of our property is not leveling up, unlike the other properties. And that's another concern for us. We're paying taxes as much as those who are far from Walmart, and yet they don't experience this kind of issues in where we live. So what we're seeking is peace in where we live. After all, we're all, we're getting old and we want some peace and quiet. We're retirees and we just want to enjoy our backyard. Our backyard, I cannot even open my windows, my bedroom windows, when the weather gets warmer. I cannot even open my kitchen window because the idle trucks the fume of the diesel are going into my kitchen, and I have to close my kitchen window, and even my my dining window. So all of those added up to our concerns and to our worries. So what my point is, if you could assist us in implementing or making it a point that all your agreements would be adhered. I was given a telephone number by Robin Carp that just in case, this is the number of the Town of Hempstead Public Safety Department, and I have the number 538-1900 immediately if there are noises coming from Walmart. I have Sergeant Shim, I have Lieutenant Carla. Those two, they couldn't help me. Every time I call, it's like it's not an emergency. So to them, it's whatever you have on papers may not mean anything. It's been going on for 15 years now, and nothing has changed, and even got worse. So that's my concern. Assistant from the Town of Hempstead, from you, because you're the one who make all the decision, who gives permit, but at least for us, for residents of that area, we want your help and assistance in maintaining peace and quality of life. Thank you. Happy New Year.
I'd also like to speak. My name's Tara Arzberger, A-R-Z, sure.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
I do, yes. Tara Arzberger, A-R-Z-B-E-R-G-E-R. I live at 117 Melanie Drive. I live pretty much right behind the old Stop and Shop. I agree with my neighbors, a few of the same issues, the trucks coming in past the hours, the security guard must be friends with a lot of these drivers. I'm not sure if they're getting paid off, but it's been going on for years. They go in after hours, they're there till 2 a.m., trucks are idling, the smell of diesel fuel, it's just super loud. I mean, our bedrooms are right there. It's not just Stop and Shop, which is no longer there. It's Walmart because it's still ongoing, so it must be Walmart too. Another issue I have that I can see from my upstairs bedroom window, these trucks come flying down. There's a large space where they drive through. There's not one speed bump, so I would hope that Walmart would, in their new additions, would implement numerous speed bumps, big ones, as big as you possibly can, because they come flying through. In my 30 years of living in my home, I've recently purchased this from my parents, so I've lived in this house since I was a little kid, and 3 times in the past 30 years, 16-wheeler trucks have went through our fence. Not a fun summer afternoon, I'll tell you that. Additionally, not just the sound nuisance, but there's an odor nuisance as well. Stop and Shop was actually a pretty good neighbor. They helped me. They got a brand new compactor to help the smells, especially in the summer. Spilled milk, poultry, dairy, gross stuff that's just sitting out in their compactors. They got a brand new one, and it was able to fix the odor problem. So I hope that Walmart, I'm assuming that they're going to be everything state-of-the-art, including compactor and proper pickup times, which was also an issue. Garbage pickup times, they weren't picking up their garbage. It was sitting out. It was horrible.
One second, Mr. Manesso. Can you or your client tell us what what safeguards are in place to, I know we always have this issue with the tractor trailers idling and because it's diesel. Do we know what safeguards are in place to make sure these guys actually turn the trucks off?
I'm going to have Mr. Clipper respond to that, but I'd prefer to let the neighbors testify, and then we'll do it in our closing.
Thank you. Go ahead, you can.
Sure. Yeah, and light pollution as well. In my backyard, it's like a stadium back there. They have these gigantic lights that shine right into our bedroom windows. Literally can't really open at all because it's like a stadium back there. So I would hope that Walmart would take into consideration the fact that, these are families. I have 3 small babies. We're kept up from the sound, the smell, and the light. It's just absolutely crazy. Like, I've actually thought about moving. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I'm scared to know what's going to happen next at this gigantic, Walmart wins all the time, right? And I'm just like, what do we do? We're kind of stuck here. So, I have to oppose their propositions. They said that can I ask, the 1,000 square feet, where is that being added?
It's being added to the front of the building where the Stop and Shop was, on the south side of the building. It is not
out
being,
a little bit into the parking, into the
it's a
current
vestibule, yeah.
Okay. And on the west side, which is where my home is, there's going to be a development out farther or no?
No, no.
Okay. Please take into consideration those speed bumps especially. I know that's an easy fix, so.
You've had
Thank you
3
so much.
different trucks come into your backyard.
Yeah, could you imagine? And that's before they had put now we have like a 10-foot or a 12-foot PVC fence. Mine is taller than yours.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 8 feet? I think it's 10 feet. But yeah, but that was before, and now they update it. Before it was a wooden fence, now it's PVC. But still, like the fear, whenever I hear a truck coming, the fear of I don't want to stand near my fence.
Get your kids out of the backyard.
Yeah, I mean, we can't live like that. I mean, that's an easy fix. The speed bumps is an easy fix. The light pollution is also an easy fix. Don't put them right in my backyard. Put them down even if
Reasonable.
That's an easy fix, right? Reasonable. And also the truckers, of course, that's our main, as a community, that is our main problem.
Yeah, they're not supposed to idle them.
There needs to be some repercussions, and that's Walmart's job, right? At this point, so.
He's going to talk to us about the safeguards.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, I do. Yep.
You can lift the mic up or you can hold it in your hand, whatever you want, just so we can hear you.
I'm Mohammed Rafiq from 105 Melanie Drive. I would just kind of like reiterate a couple of things that my neighbors already mentioned, especially around the delivery times, and especially with the way the Stop and Shop is designed. Their freezers are towards the back, so the trucks come and park in the reverse, like right around like the houses that we have for some of the other neighbors that just spoke, and they are parked late at night, and then they are constantly idling and running at night because I'm not sure if that's a requirement for them to maintain the temperature or something like that, but they are running late at night. And we have complained numerous times and nobody actions anything, and it's not strictly enforced at all. So like for me, I have small kids. They don't go to bed at 10:30 because they need to go to school. They need to go to bed by 8 or 9 in the evening. So I cannot be having those noises. And and the way all the houses in the back of Melanie Drive is designed, all their bedrooms are towards the back that faces the Stop and Shop and the Walmart. So that's the main concern with the noise and the light and kind of like the odor at times. And again, second, the thought of like about the employees who are working, they're playing loud music and things of that nature. So continuously, it's an interruption to the daily activities of the kids going to school in the morning. So I would like to really request the board to consider the timings being enforced, and then how strictly and what are the measures being taken to make sure that they are enforced correctly. So that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Mr. Benesso, how often does Walmart get deliveries in its current, and I assume it'll just be a multiplication of that? Like just roughly, 4 a night, 4 tractor trailers a night, 4 a week?
Is my mic on? Currently, it would be 2 to 3.
A night?
A day.
A day.
Yeah, yes, in a cycle of the delivery times.
And
That's
Okay, wait, don't bark out from the audience.
so.
No, yeah, we can't do that. Okay. If you have a different view of it, you can say that or whatever, just,
Well, they're,
okay, so right now you think it's probably 3 to 4.
I know that it is because my store manager is telling me it's 2 to 3, and it's going to go to 5 or 6 because of the grocery component.
Yeah, according to the store manager, because I asked that question, he said it would be 5 to 6 of our Walmart 53-foot trucks per day, which would be within the 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. time, 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. time frame, an additional 2 to 3 from what they currently get. Vendors use box trucks, vans, as well as some full-size trailers, which would come in the morning with the deliveries. No change from what currently occurs with the vendors.
What carries a full-size trailer in this world?
What?
So I think of a tractor trailer as a tractor trailer, right? So then you said, in addition, a couple of full-size trailers. What are those?
It said Walmart's 53-foot trucks, 5 to 6 per day, which
Right.
would be within the 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. timeframe.
Right.
That's Walmart tractor trailers coming in from our distribution center.
And then there's some
That's
box,
not counting like smaller local delivery,
Box
like
truck.
box trucks that would be like
right. I got that.
local suppliers bringing things in.
But after he said those two things, he said, and 2 to 3 full-size trailers. Something like
I said currently it's 2 to 3. It will double.
No, not you. Mr. Vanessa, when you read it, you said the Walmart tractor trailers, the box trucks, and then you said, in addition, 2 to 3 full-size trailers. And I'm asking you,
I said an additional 2 or 3 from what they currently get. So they currently get 2 to 3 53-foot trailers. They will now have 5 to 6.
but when you're saying trailers, you're referring to tractor
Trailers,
Okay.
53-foot tractor trailers.
Right, I thought you were, but then when you said the other trailers.
And those typically occur based on what he's indicating between 7 a.m. and 11 a.m. But the rest of the day, up until 10:30 at night, you do have vans, box trucks, other delivery vehicles occurring that take place.
Is the box truck the biggest one separate from the tractor trailers?
Probably, yeah.
Is there
Box trucks
a
are
delivery
typically,
vehicle in?
they're typically bigger than vans.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an actual van. Yeah, I don't know the size of an actual box truck, but
No.
it's just,
But, you know.
but it would be bigger than an average
25 to 30 feet.
van.
Right, but there's not a size that you're getting deliveries from between box truck and tractor trailer that they might be confusing for. I just want to have a full picture. I got you. I understand it. 2 to 3 and 2 to 3, and then it's going to be 5 to 6.
Can I ask a question? How many trucks are actually, whether they're trailers, boxcars, vans, how many come a day and to what time? You said 7 to 11 are the big ones. And what about?
They all come in.
So that I don't know, and I will find that out. I absolutely will, including the box trucks.
You're telling us 5 to 6 trucks, but these other people that testify.
No, we're saying 5 to 6 tractor trailers.
And 2 to 3 box trucks.
Idea of what the rest of the trucks are.
Okay.
What they're dealing with at night.
We'll get you that number.
Yes.
We're not supposed to be dealing with any at night. Not supposed to be dealing with any after 10:30, correct?
Right.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Is there?
By way of clarification, the first man who spoke about hours, truck 7 to 7. Sir, that had to do with the compactor, right? That is not an overall restriction on trucks. That was trucks dealing with the compactor on the compactor only between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. and 7 a.m. I'm reading from the decision. It's restricted to that. Anyone else like to speak? One more thing.
Yeah, my name is Matthew again. One more thing I want to add. The rep says,
11, Melanie, say the address. Say your address because she puts it in the transcript.
oh, okay. My name is Matthew Thomas, 111 Melanie Drive, East Meadow, New York, 11554. If the Walmart only delivering 3 trucks a day, why can't we eliminate the time 7 p.m. to 7 a.m.? He said only 3 tractor trailers. There's a bread delivery, milk delivery, all the other stuff's coming in and out. If it's only 3 tractor trailer, why we expanding all this delivery time, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.? Why can't we control that to 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.?
Mr. Vanessa, you'll address that in your.
Yeah.
He's going to address that when he.
Thank you very much, your concern. I have kids. We have a lot of these people in the neighborhood. I don't stop in this development, but I'm a taxpayer also. You guys got to listen to us and take a appropriate decision for this. Walmarts don't care. They're big, giant operation, a corporation, and we are peanut people trying to live in this neighborhood peacefully. Never been peaceful since last 25 years, since they built this Walmart and Stop and Shop. We are tired of calling the town, police. Nobody care. Nobody care. The diesel fumes, we breathing the diesel fumes every single day. Like the lady, she left, Susan. We can't open the door. We can't go to the backyard. My neighbor had little kids. I have little kids. They all growing up. They all breathe in the same air. We don't breathe fresh air no more. And people live in Pennsylvania or other state are running this business. Arkansas, wherever Walmart is, they don't care. They live in the mansions other side of the neighborhood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I address a couple of the?
Before you do, if we're done with the public comment,
We are.
I'll summarize and close. I'm going to have Mr. Klippa just speak to enforcement, but before we get to that, I want to elaborate on what Mr. Regano pointed out. The February 23, 2011 decision, case number 5211, pertained to a special exception to construct a 12-foot high masonry enclosure with a chain link fence. That was for a pallet and baling area adjacent to, as Mr. Regano noted, the trash compactor. The limitation is on access to that area from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. It is not a restriction on deliveries. The restriction on deliveries stands 7 a.m., not before 7 a.m., not past 11 p.m. based upon the zoning board decision, and as posted 10:30 p.m. So that's just on the for the record. I wanted to clarify that so that there's no confusion that there is not a 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. restriction on deliveries. Now, I'd like to have Mr. Klipper just address enforcement issues.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members. I was, yes. Thank you for the opportunity. Quick, I'll keep my comments quick, and I just want to also address the concerns that I've heard in terms of enforcement and to what it looks like we're not doing in terms of delivery times and truck idling. So real quick, my notes right now, the core things I have are figure out how many trucks total are coming through, not just tractor trailers. I will find that out. And then the biggest issues I've heard are truck idling, delivery times, loud music out the back. I heard people playing things, and then the speed bumps that she would like to see. Now, these are the things that we can
I'm going to get to that.
Yeah, those are the dampeners.
Yeah, we've already addressed the fact that we are putting in all new lighting, both on the building and light poles. They're going to be lower. They're going to be state of the art with a lot less light pollution, if you will, onto neighboring properties.
So with regard to the things that are directly under our control locally in my notes, the first thing I'm going to do once we huddle after this is meet with my store manager, obviously, and his leadership, which is his market manager and his VP, to address these concerns and say, look, it could have been happening with Stop and Shop, but the neighbors are insisting that it's still happening even since Stop and Shop closed. And that's unacceptable. So effectively what happens is when we kick it up and let them know that this is happening, it doesn't mean that right away it stops, but it stops because this is what I try to come in and help with when we're trying to troubleshoot some of these things, particularly with regard to delivery times and the truck idling, which they are absolutely not supposed to truck idle. And that's an internal thing as well. And then the delivery times as well, which is town ordinance, code, whatever you might call it. So those are the primary takeaways I've heard. And then also we'll look to address the loud music being played out back. Look to see what we can do about the speed bumps, which is one of the concerns. What's that?
The only thing
speed
I'll
bumps?
add about speed bumps, and sorry to interrupt, is they can slow traffic down, but when a 53-foot tractor trailer goes over those, there's often a bounce and noise associated with that. So I'm just throwing it out there.
Maybe there's a happy medium-sized bump. I don't know. That slows them, but doesn't jolt the whole.
Engineer.
Yeah.
I don't know enough about
Well,
speed bumps, but
We'll get to that.
Nor do I.
no, I appreciate that. So those will be the things that are most concerning to me, though, are really the delivery times and the idling. So,
And the enforcement issues.
and the enforcement issues of,
I mean, you could see, in fairness and without malice, you can see the guard, like, guys, just, I've been driving all day, you know, come on, I'll be 20 minutes. Just let me, man, I got to get home to my kids. It's freezing out.
yeah, I got to
You
do
could
my
see
job.
that happening.
Absolutely.
And the guard thinking, I have a heart. Okay, go ahead.
But the fact of the matter is, they're not supposed to be doing
Right,
that.
100%.
It makes us a bad neighbor with our neighbors, and that's the last thing that we want. And then it puts us in a precarious position with you guys. So,
Mr. Clipper, in preparing for this hearing, and I touched upon this before, but you shared with me that oftentimes when you have to share space in a building or shopping center with other tenants, you're not as effective in managing the site as you are when you own or control the entire property. Can you elaborate on that?
yeah, so we talked about this the other day. Can somebody clue me in? What was the exact month that the Stop and Shop closed?
I have no
Either the
idea.
neighbors, or does it? With them? Oh, literally just a few months ago? I thought it was like a year. Oh, like a year. So a year
Ah,
ago.
you're getting older because you're losing the times. I've already lost lots of years.
Yeah. I knew that it was within the last year. Thank you. So anecdotally, we talked about this the other day. When we're in a shopping mall, a plaza, which X percentage of the time we are, a high percentage of the time, we're the biggest name in there normally. In fact, I'd say 99% of the time we're going to be the biggest name there, even when we're with a Lowe's or a Home Depot. The fact of the matter is, with that draws the attention of we're in control of the entire plaza. When X high percentage of the time we have a landlord, we have other tenants, we're only responsible for a certain portion. What ends up happening a lot of times when we're in these plazas is we sort of bear the brunt of what's happening in the entire plaza because we are the biggest in terms of retailers, companies, names, so on and so forth. So everybody would understand that. When it is our plaza solely and our facility solely, it becomes a lot easier for us to control what is happening because we don't have to go through the bureaucracy of landlords, other tenants, other controls. We can rein things in and deal with it a lot more effectively when we can come in and say, guys, we got to get our house in order.
At least you get in trouble for the things you have control over.
Exactly.
So you can fix them.
Versus sort of saying, well, that's not even under our control. And a lot of times people don't want to hear that. It's like, hey, this is happening out back of this store in your plaza. And then we have to sort of say, it's not even our plaza. We're a tenant there. But again, when it's Walmart, you tend to draw that attention, which I completely understand. So.
Thank you, Mr. Clipper. Just in closing, there was a comment about the EV chargers making noise that would affect the neighbors. The EV chargers are all the way on the easterly side of the property. They're adjacent to Newbridge Road, so they'll not be making any noise anywhere near any of the residences. We've heard the concerns. I think with Walmart taking control of the entire center, there'll be the ability to enforce better. Breslin Realty is also there, and I know for a fact, having worked with them on so many different sites, that they take it seriously as well. We have provided in the handouts 4 photos of existing fencing that ranges anywhere from 8 to 10 feet high in spots. We don't believe anything further or more than that is required or should be imposed on the board, because let's face it, what we're really talking about here is a parking variance, which we really have not heard any testimony to say that the parking variance is not appropriate, and the signage that we're seeking. And I'm not saying the board would do this, but even if this application were to be denied, Walmart can go in, make no changes to the site whatsoever, just reoccupy the Stop and Shop, not make any improvements whatsoever, and they'd be entitled to do so. Here, Walmart is coming to the board and the town and saying, look, we want to make improvements to the site. We want to change the way the customer pickup area works so that it's more efficient. We want to add new lighting to the property. We want to paint the building. We want to add cart carriers. We want to add better crosswalks. We want to add a vestibule. We want to do things to improve the site's appearance and operation. If this board grants the application, that's exactly what will happen. If the board were to deny it, they could still simply move into the Stop and Shop and operate the way it's operated in the past.
Now, the back border with the residence is, not including the western side, looks like that in and of itself is about 800 feet long. So I guess it would be cost prohibitive to try and get some sort of sound barrier along that. And that wouldn't even include this side.
Along which side?
I realize, we're not, I'm just thinking like a higher fence, but I guess, again, some of it's already 10 and 8, so.
I mean,
And the lighting will help when it's reduced.
I mean,
And the idling in trucks, I think that will go a long way toward not needing a higher one, but whatever.
as indicated, we already have high fencing there. One thing that could potentially help, there are 2 loading docks on the rear of the building. One that was associated with Stop and Shop that will now be part of the Walmart, and one further to the east that's already part of the existing Walmart. On the outside of those loading docks, for the one to the west, there's just a low curb that runs along the outside of the loading dock. On the other one, there's about a 2-foot like knee wall, if you will, that runs along there. What was discussed yesterday is the possibility that those walls could be raised higher so that the activity occurring in the loading dock, noise occurring there, is kept in there by the raised walls. So that would at least provide some relief from the noise coming from the loading docks. And based upon the conversations I had with the Walmart personnel and Mr. Clipper, who was on the call yesterday, that was something that Walmart felt that they could do. So if that was something that the board would want to impose, I think we could accept that.
How high would that wall be?
Alec? Where's Alec?
8 square.
Oh, how high would you propose?
It could potentially be 8 to 10 feet high. Right now it's, in fact, 6 inches and 2 feet. So by raising it high enough to prevent noise would reduce the noise.
8 to 10 feet high, we could make it.
We don't need a variance for that, do you? Okay, just because we'd want.
Yeah, it's not a fence. It's not a fence on the exterior of the property.
Right, I understand. So those would go to 10 feet.
8 to 10.
That's our direct presentation, Mr. Chairman, and unless the board has any further questions.
I just have a.
Yes, sir.
With regard to you're going to have groceries there now, the refrigeration trucks.
I was thinking about that.
How about turning off those refrigeration units along with non-idling of the.
Well, I am a little bit confused if I can address something. We don't have grocery right now. So I'm a little confused how there could be idling with reefer trucks.
No.
It wouldn't be our own trucks, not to put this on vendors. But what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
The idling they're talking about is just because, the diesel engines, they keep them running. Like, not for
sorry, not to get into the weeds, but with refrigeration trucks, it is different because of spoilage.
Yes.
But either way, there's supposed to be no truck period between 10:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. That stops that prevents the problem.
I think
the idling when they're using the backyard.
I think what Mr. Pellegrini was requesting is the storing of refrigerated trailers in the loading dock.
Yes.
After when you're not actually unloading.
They unhook and
then they leave, and that's what he's asking about. And then the reefer unit stays on. So that's what he's asking about.
So do you mean they unhook them, leave them there, and you use it out of that?
So the tractor trailer drops the trailer at the loading dock, leaves it, and then they unload the trailer.
And this would be I don't know this, I'm asking. This would presumably be because they're coming off hours.
What-
and they want to dump and leave? Is that what we're
That's
thinking
what,
is
yeah,
happening?
that's what he's asking, yeah.
Take a look at the Levittown Marketplace Walmart. They're there in the parking lot, unattached, the trailer just idles, the refrigeration unit.
Well, wait, is it being left there just to be unloaded, or they
I-
use it
I
as
don't-
their fridge and then they bring a new one full of food?
I'm not.
Well, no, we're not using it as a fridge. It would be the only situation I could think of, and I don't know, and I will get to the bottom of this with my operations. Genuinely, it's why I'm here, and it's my number one concern is the only thing I could think of would be that they're off schedule, which is their fault anyway, and they're dumping it for some reason, but they wouldn't be using it as a refrigerator. At least I've never heard of that in my 18 years
I can tell you from experience that they
at Levittown.
and they let the thing idle in the parking lot. It's rather loud. It's diesel also.
And these are Walmart branded trucks. These aren't vendors.
I paid attention to it, honestly.
Well, no.
Okay.
Mr. Vanessa,
And the second thing is, if I may, Walmart allows truckers to park overnight, campers and so on.
Not
Am I
anymore.
off about that?
I'm getting tested today. That is not supposed to be the case anymore. That's supposed to be something that is not happening anymore. So if you're telling me that is still happening in
I don't
terms
know
of,
that it's happening there. I know that just from experience. Pittsfield, Massachusetts, for example, there's a big Walmart there. I go there. And they have campers that sit in the parking lot and they, they like to camp in the parking lot. Go figure.
there used to be sort of an unofficial policy at Walmart with like the RV crew that it was like a place you could stop and post up.
sleep overnight.
Yes, and we encouraged it because obviously it's good for business. So around a lot of large tourist areas, you would see it, like the Disneys of the world, the beaches of the world, things like that. Overnight would be sort of, okay, that's fine. What it started to spill into were people literally sort of living
Yes.
in certain places out of these parking lots for,
So you had to put the kibosh on it.
yes. So that sort of turned into, okay, I mean, I have places where this never happens, and then I have places where it becomes an issue, and we have to actually come in and work with the you of the world to say, well, now we need your help as well in terms of like bringing in law enforcement and you guys to try and sort of level set some of this stuff. So
Mr. Vanessa, is the garbage pickup in those same hours or precluded in those same hours?
Yeah, there's no activity in the back whatsoever permitted between 10:30 PM and 7 AM.
And I didn't.
And that would be for the pickups
Are
as
your
well.
dumpsters in the back or?
Oh, there's the compactors back there. Yeah. Yeah. And by the way, and I didn't say it before, but there will also be cameras installed all throughout the site as part of this upgrade as well. So from an enforcement standpoint, they'll be able to see firsthand what types of activities are occurring on the property.
They're going to record also,
Do you record also or just?
so the management can see it when they're not there in the night?
yeah, they record, and to my knowledge, they hold that footage for like X amount of time
Yeah, till it
before it gets
rewrites.
wiped out. So
But the recording is critical because the manager's not going to be there at midnight, most
Yes.
likely.
and that's hopefully how we can address if we're
Right.
deliveries and idling and things like that. So
Okay,
Is that it?
any other questions from the board?
Oh, one thing. So, Mr. Benesso, but those issues that you're going to look into, you'll get the information to the office or something like that.
Correct.
Okay.
yes.
All right. I move that the hearing be closed, the matter be placed on the decision calendar. Mr. Benesso, you, your clients, and everyone else who has signed in on the case, you will receive a copy of the board's decision by mail once it's rendered. Thank you all for coming, participating. Long day. Thanks for your patience.
Thank you for your time.
Aye.
Thank you.
10-minute break.
Is it ADA?
4:45. Reconvene for reconvene for oh, God bless you forever and ever and ever.
This thing shouldn't be a big time constraint.
Okay, then we'll do.
25th?
February 25th, 11 o'clock.
2:25 at 11. Another one. Okay.
This one's quick, though. We shouldn't have.
Yeah, we heard it. All right, let's go on.
So now, so since we took the testimony on that case. It's going to be partial testimony taken. Right, but my question is, and it's it's a month and a half away. Will we have the transcript before us at the time?
We probably will, a month and a half.
Can we make sure if we have it in the office, can we make sure it comes out to the?
Yes, we should have that.
You have that secret thing? Because I didn't bring them.
Do we have secret tonight?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, we
the-
had a
the
couple.
cheat
Franklin
sheet?
Square, yeah, the gym, yeah.
I don't have the cheat sheet.
Anybody know what they're going to I don't really know what.
Based upon the testimony.
Oh, I don't know it by heart, the secret thing.
Okay.
I knew everything else, but I can't.
The one that was on today?
Yeah. The one that's, Franklin Square, Fit Fam.
FitFam,
It says we need to make this.
secret determination.
I misunderstood. I get it. Oh, what did you think? I said. Thank you. Thank you. I forgot my.
No.
Okay, let's open it up, all right?
Yep.
Case 2020 of 26 Franklin Square, FitFam 1 LLC, special exception for a place of public assembly and amusement portion of an existing building, a proposed gym, variance and off-street parking, property address is 166 to 206 New Hyde Park Road. We need a secret determination. Someone like to make that, Mr. Plumer?
I move we adopt a negative declaration as to the CEQA determination based on testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we have received and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
On the case 220 of 26 Franklin Square, Fit Farm 1 LLC at 166-206 New Hyde Park Road for a special exception for a place of public assembly and music be granted as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Cases 21 and 22 of 2026 1 to Elisa McElravy. Variances, lot area occupied, side yard aggregate, rear yard, construct addition attached to dwelling, variance side yard aggregate, maintained deck attached to dwelling. That case was granted from the bench. Case 23 of 2026 South Hempstead. Angeline Paul and Janisha Cadet, special exception for proposed daycare and portion of existing building and parking in the front yard setback on Georgia Street and Irene Street. Variance and off-street parking and insufficient stall size. Property address 1078 to 1096 Grand Avenue. We need a secret determination on that one.
I move that we adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we've reviewed and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? And with respect to the application.
And I make a motion on case 23 of 26 South Hempstead, Angeline Paul and Janisha Cadet, located at 1078 to 1096 Grand Avenue, be approved as requested.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
You don't need it.
Cases 24 of 26. We're going to do this together. Well, all right, we'll do it separately. Case 24 of 26, we need a secret determination. That's Merrick JLP Associates, Inc. Variances granted, subdivision lot and lot area, front yard setback on Camp Avenue and Montague Avenue, front width from and on the street line to front setback line, construct dwelling with garage, plot B. And then we'll consolidate that with 25, case 25 of 26 Merrick, Joseph P. Gare, variances subdivision lot area, front width from and on street line to front setback line, maintain a dwelling, plot A at 1711 Camp Avenue. Secret determinations are required on both.
I move, Mr. Chairman, as it relates to both case 24 and 25 of 2026, that we adopt a negative declaration as a secret determination based on the materials in the file, the testimony at the trial, and other materials the board has reviewed and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. In addition, Mr. Chairman, I move as it relates to cases 24 and 25 of 2026, that would the board grant the relief requested with the usual subdivision conditions, the usual new home conditions on the one that is being constructed as a new home.
Second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Cases 26 of 26 and 27 through 29 of 26. East Meadow. Case 26, a renewal of a grant to maintain one detached five-part double-faced illuminated ground sign, overall size 384 square feet, overall height 28 feet, setback 16 feet from Hempstead Turnpike. Property address is 2411, aka 2465 Hempstead Turnpike. We do not need a secret determination on this case. Any discussion? If not, do I have a motion?
I move that case 2626, located at 2411, also known as 2465 Hempstead Turnpike, the Clear Meadow Mall, be granted with the same previously imposed conditions for a term of 5 years.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All in favor? I'm
Aye.
going to say it again.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Cases 26 through 29 of 2026, East Meadow. Walmart Real Estate Business Trust. Variance in off-street parking, expand existing Walmart, install animated sign not permitted on existing detached ground sign, install two double-faced detached directional signs. Exceeding permitted heights, 8.6 from grade, exceeds 2 square feet in area, 3 square feet. Proposed northwest corner of Hempstead Turnpike to Newbridge Road, also known as 2465 Hempstead Turnpike. What are we going to do on that case?
I'd like to hold it to get that additional information.
I would agree with that.
I think it's useful what they're looking into, and I want to try and take a look at it too.
Let's go to the videotape and the reserve calendar.
Okay. So we finally received an amended plot plan with respect to case 386 of 25, Lido Beach, Andrea and Aaron Cantor, regarding the property known as 6 Woodhill Street. You'll recall there was that brick wall that was on Park Street, Lido Boulevard, that likely needed variance relief. Well, they are finally going to remove it.
Oh.
So I don't know if
Well,
the board's ready to decide that, or
can I already inspected it.
Okay.
I'd like to see the new plan they submit.
Okay.
And I would like to go back and look at, there was also a shed that was really in a bad spot.
So you want to hold?
I'd like to hold it
right.
while I look at the new papers and maybe take another look at it.
Re-inspect.
Yeah.
So that's a hold.
here, I'll just give these to you. This is the newest plot plan. I did ask if they put the amended date and everything, but at least they finally submitted it.
So this is what they are now proposing, right?
Well, yes, you're going to see, they put the concrete, the planter on top of concrete brick wall with the notation planter/fence to be removed.
So there will be nothing there but a curb.
Correct.
Okay, and then this is a big problem, but I'll get to that.
Yep. But I don't know if that's going to now affect anything.
Got it. I just want to relook at it
We're going to
because.
hold it. All right. Anything else on that page?
Oh, wait. I wanted to have some time.
Take your time.
I've inspected them. I just we need to talk about, there's a couple things that I have. But we always end up like this, and I forgot. I forgot to, I need to take some time and pull some people aside. Just to brainstorm.
What about the one, the Starbucks one that
That we can, yeah, we'll go in order with that one. We did get an update,
because that seemed very simple in my opinion.
it was the delivery
Starbucks on
issue.
Franklin Avenue, what a beautiful place.
Right,
And a
what's
huge queue.
Yeah. I go in there.
It's huge queue.
I actually go there.
Okay, so case 247 of 25, East Meadow Jewish Heritage Center of Queens and Long Island, involves the premises known as 1440 Prospect Avenue. We did hear back from the attorney of record, who's been in contact with the attorney for the opposition. Unfortunately, they couldn't come to any specific compromise, because again, the attorney for the opposition represents numerous homeowners that are in the community. So shifting the building, some neighbors are happy with that, others aren't. Changing the driveway, you have the same problem where some are happy with that, it affects others. When it comes to the religious aspect of it, while it's not a true synagogue or house of worship, it does serve, and they have religious functions there. I believe the testimony, and again, it was a while ago, but the testimony, if I'm not mistaken, was that anybody can come in for Shabbat. So again, it's not your traditional house of worship, it's more like a cultural center. Additionally, they do provide religious education at that center. So they're...
Is it religious, like classes, or there's some brochures?
They have classrooms there, so they're providing actual religious education. So it does fall under the umbrella of a religious use.
And a Shabbat house, in my opinion. A Shabbat house, in my opinion, is a religious use. And we need to address it.
Okay, so would you guys, I know it's been a little while ago, would you guys like a copy of the plans? And we can get you guys a copy of the transcript again?
I would.
Just to review it?
Yeah.
So again, the testimony, I'm a little rusty on it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But this way we can kind of see exactly what they use it for, and the deck was a point of contention.
Yes.
Is the, can I just ask?
I will also email over the ideas that the Jewish Heritage Center has floated past us of some sort of mitigation to alleviate some of the concerns from the neighbors.
Bollards were
bollards.
some of the
There was some concerns with the terrace. Some of the ideas that they had on that, we'll email to you guys.
Those are
That way we can kind of get it all together and come out with a decision.
Can you also email this to me, the sign-in sheet?
Sure, we can send all of the
Radius map transcript sign-in sheet and.
You know, I find the more we put these things off, the more you forget it. You have to reread everything.
Correct, but again, you're gonna recall that on this case specifically, the attorneys were trying to come to some compromise.
Yeah, I understand that we were trying to come to some sort of agreement. I remember the driveway, they were gonna move it from one side to the other. And then there was a gentleman here he lived in the back parking lot and he didn't want, yeah. But maybe by next time after rereading, we could come to some sort of conclusion.
Based on, again, what they're now proposing to kind of have as mitigation.
And this wasn't this was
the parties trying to settle it.
The two attorneys going back and forth, trying to come up with.
Correct. Okay.
603 to 608, Mrs. D. Did you get a chance to inspect it? Burger?
Yeah, wait, I have inspected all mine.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I said, that's the one that I said I want to sit down and go over. Most of it's fine. I did this inspection a long time ago. But as it relates to enlarging the two-family stuff, I want to go over with you and maybe Becky some stuff.
Why don't we put that on there?
Okay. Yeah. As it relates to the Mooburger case, which is 77 Vanderbilt in Island Park, I've inspected it actually twice, once in the pouring rain, and pretty extensive inspection. I went through the fence and looked, and taking the restaurant portion separate from the two houses that are single-family dwellings, and they want to put a whole nother level on them. Each house has one tiny parking spot. The traffic on the parking on the street, I was there like in the middle of a Monday where you think most people are at work. And, I need to sit down with Becky and go back over my photographs and the proposed plans and talk to her about the amount of burden this is placing on this land, which also, of course, has the restaurant, which has a number of like outbuildings connected to it. It's a pretty intensive use for two houses that are now little single-family dwellings, but they want to enlarge them quite a bit, elevate them, put another level on them, and, you know, more space is more people, and, you know, yes, a family may not need any more cars, but anyway, so I really want to maybe, yeah, and maybe if, I don't know, if, I'll try to remember to send Becky a text, or I'll talk to you.
Yeah, we'll.
I'll talk to you and we'll figure out about, yeah, because then I'd be in a better position to report my findings to the board, and then we can deliberate and figure out.
Okay, so next we have, 548.25 through 554.25 East Meadow, Pathland Holdings LLC.
Right.
It's 651 Newbridge Road. We did reach out to the attorney to let him know that the board was not, okay with the prohibition of deliveries between 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. and told him that the board would like to impose something more stringent. He wasn't able to get his client to pigeonhole certain hours, but said, you know, let the board do what the board's going to do.
What do you think is reasonable?
I would.
11 to 7?
I mean, the problem is that they have very, very, very long hours. So if you have deliveries at the site, there's no sweet time.
But
And we would do a prohibition.
No, when I say reasonable, meaning if there's residential people in the back, you know, where you're not going to wake them up after a certain time.
Yeah.
Or wake them up at 5
I mean, since we can't make it perfect, I would be in favor of 10 to 7, to be honest.
When?
10 to 7 prohibition.
Well, Walmart's got the 11 to 7.
Yeah, but I didn't think, when he mentioned it, he did make a good point. If I arrive in my truck, I was going to ask him, but I didn't want to belabor it. I was going to ask him how long it takes to unload a truck, and I'm sure it varies by size and items and all that. But if I arrive at, let's say I arrived at 11 to unload my truck, pull it in there, you know, I got to call the guys who work at the store to unload it, or maybe I'm unloading it, or both. And so I was thinking that, you know, they might actually take a whole nother hour. You might take a whole nother hour. So
basically 7 a.m. in the morning to 10 o'clock at night. You could unload. 7 a.m.
I mean, I think it's going to be a group discussion.
What does everyone think?
Yeah.
I mean, the prohibition's probably the way to go. Say that deliveries are prohibited from X time to X time.
I think that's right.
However way you put it, I'm just sort of saying, in other words, deliveries from 7 to 10, meaning no deliveries from 10 to 7. Yeah, right.
10 p.m. to 7.
That's that one.
Yeah, so in other words, 10 p.m. to 7 in the morning, no deliveries.
However the board wants to do it.
I thought that's what you, 7 o'clock is not enough time for them to, you know, it's reasonable to deliver something till 9 o'clock.
I think the biggest concern was the noise with the neighbors, right? So what's reasonable in light of that? I mean, you have Starbucks, which is open very long hours.
Yeah, so there's no way we can fit it into their closed hours. We just have to accept that.
That also cuts both ways. The fact that they're open very long hours gives them plenty of time to make their deliveries without annoying the hell out of the neighbors.
Agreed.
What do you propose?
What do you think is a reasonable amount for a
Why,
prohibition?
with all due respect, you say 10 in the evening to 7 in the morning. Why did they have to make a delivery at Starbucks after 9 o'clock at night?
I'll make it 9 then.
I'd make it 9 to 7.
I like that.
So 9 to 7.
I'd make it 9 to 7.
I
That's
think
a
that's good, John.
prohibition. Somebody's going to make a secret determination. Go right ahead. You have the cheat sheet.
Yes, I do. On cases 548 of 25 to 554 of 25 East Meadow, Path Holding, Starbucks special exception to install drive-through window, I move that we adopt a negative declaration as to the secret determination based on the testimony given, exhibits in the file, and other materials we have reviewed and analyzed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
On the case 548 to 554 East Meadow, Starbucks special exception, I make a motion that we would approve it on the condition that deliveries are only between 10 a.m. in the morning and, 7 a.m. in the morning and 9 p.m. at night.
And then the signs, did you want those to be temporary with conditions?
And the signs be temporary with conditions.
Second.
No idling of the vehicles, no refrigeration units
Yeah, you'll
idling.
have that right, Christina.
They testified to that.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was like sort of standard what we put in.
No, it isn't.
And no idling of the vehicles.
And if they have a speaker,
I'm gonna refer back to
stop
my notes.
Yeah.
talking,
Sounds good.
damn it. If they have a speaker with the menu board, you have to keep that less than 10 decibels. It's like a whisper.
No deliveries.
Okay, that's reasonable.
So, should we say all in favor?
Yeah. You don't want to get people showing up at 10 o'clock at night. Wait a minute.
I said second. Now,
Yeah.
all in favor?
All in favor?
Okay. Okay, so, case 519 of 25, I sent out an amended, a drafted decision, but I'm still awaiting receipt of amended plans, so we're gonna have to hold that bad boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
On case 511 of 2025?
Yeah, I have inspected that twice. The first time it was snowy out, and I didn't fully appreciate how many of the dimensions were lacking from the plot plan. I always just assume they're all gonna have the dimensions like they're supposed to. So Joe and I inspected again today and took a lot of measurements. There's things that are missing off them, et cetera. But, I'm trying to reconcile the measurements and understand fully what's proposed and where the fence, if moved forward, would go. It looks like it would give them a lot of extra square footage, so that's a good thing. So what I wanted to do was, I need before I can vote, and before I could even give any meaningful additional information from my end, I know other people are inspecting too. I need some time to put those numbers onto some kind of thing, and then figure out if that's going to be adequate or if we need to get that information, from a professional or in some other fashion.
Does anyone know how high the fence is currently? Is that a 6-foot high fence
6.
now?
6-foot high fence now.
Okay.
I was referring to the moving of the fence forward.
Forward towards Jerusalem.
Correct.
I inspected the property also, and as far as the HVAC storage things, I don't feel that it belongs there. As far as the trailer, it looks dilapidated and it doesn't fit into the neighborhood. Perhaps they could build a storage shed or something like that in its place in the proper area for their stuff.
All right, but we'll hold it.
Yeah, I
temporarily.
inspected as well, too.
You're gonna hold it.
No, and I just want to put on the record, as long as we're talking while I remember, and I inspected the fence along the side street. What's the name of that street? Oakfield, yeah.
Me too.
And the two things that I saw was where the fence is now, to me, makes more sense because it doesn't affect the big trees that are there. And it's also line of sight as far as people pulling out of the far driveway there, kids walking down the street. And I also had an issue with there was a cut in the curb and they were parking cars or parking something through a gate in the backyard, and that could create a hazard. So that's what I remembered. And I looked at the temple across the street and they didn't have a fence or anything like that. It was all open and, and it looked nicer, so.
Things to consider.
Gonna hold it.
Okay.
Yep. 628?
Yeah. 628. We did get the new plot plan.
Mm-hmm.
They did change it, and we had it re-reviewed by the building department. They moved the house back a bit, so they no longer need front yard average setback. Right? That's
correct.
We'll call this it's a narrow lot in East Meadow.
Mm-hmm.
It's a non-conforming lot and it's
Correct.
almost entitled to it. So I would, if there's no further discussion, I would make a motion that we grant this with the new house conditions.
And porch not be further enclosed.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Okay, now we have another update on case 633 of 25, West Hempstead, Eli and Rachel Wine, 400 McKinley Street. We did get amended plans that showed instead of designate, it's a triangular piece of property that had 2 front yards. And the plans, they are now updated to show that that other yard is not a side yard, it's in fact a rear yard. So they did pay the additional $75 fee, because we discussed the matter at the hearing that it would have to be amended, the rear yard needs relief. And I believe we also needed to amend the caption, in that it's rear yard relief and construct 2-story and 2nd-story additions both attached to dwelling. So that's all been done. So
Want a motion?
To grant it?
the board would be able to make a motion at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody object to it?
No.
Want me to make the motion?
Make it.
On file number 633 of 25, West Hempstead, Eli and Rachel Wine, variances, lot area occupied, front yard setback on McKinley Street, construct roof over porch, 2nd-story addition, both attached to dwelling, be granted as requested with the condition that the roofed over porch not be enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
That I remember. So I'm getting good at the roof over porch.
Yes.
I got
Oceanside.
This is hard to memorize because we don't do many. I usually
If you
have,
were an answer, you'd be able to memorize.
something.
I
have a really good
I
memory.
think Mary Ann might
Like,
have
I remember,
shown
like,
it
the
to me,
fences,
but I don't
the
think
new
we
house,
have it.
my other daughter.
But it's the amended plot plan?
My mind with
Wasn't
secret
the-
determination in it.
We had to have an amended plot
Yeah.
plan that showed the proper curb cuts, because they were like closing one, opening
Okay.
another.
So we're gonna hold it.
Okay. Now, also, I emailed everyone, the findings on Lojo.
Mm-hmm.
And you were recused from that case. I
Right.
don't know if the board had a chance to review the materials. If you had, we can adopt them. Questions, concerns?
That's the Lojo case in West Hempstead.
Correct, that was the
Right.
subdivision
Right.
on Locust Street that
Mhm.
the board found that while the variances were de minimis by in number, it would have a detrimental effect on the neighborhood.
Nature and character.
Mhm.
Because of all the pretty trees, among other things.
Yes.
Okay, so
I thought you did a very nice job. I think it covered all the reasons
All the bases.
with the denial, and I compliment you.
Thank
And-
you, Mr. Pellegrini.
And move that.
So in that case, I'm going to make a motion on cases 503 and 504 of 25 to adopt the findings of the
Council.
town.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Do we have any administrative?
We have some extensions of time. And
Timely extensions of time or untimely extensions of time?
we had a case, John Sullivan, 44 Bayside Drive in Point Lookout.
Aha,
See? Date of original hearing was 12/14/2016, and they need more time for the completion of construction and secure permits. Which one? So, John Sullivan is the applicant. They originally applied in, hearing date was 12/14/2016. And the applicant withdrew the request for height. The rest of the case was reopened to reconsider extension of time in 2022. They're not even listening. June 8th, 2022 was adjourned to June 15th at 11 o'clock. And again adjourned June 15th to July 22nd. On July 22nd, the board granted an extension of time until 5/27/23. And now they're asking for an extension of time again. Aren't they barred? 527, 23. Right. Yeah. And then we have another case, Samir Ahmad. It was to commence construction. It was granted by the board 13121.
Where are they in it?
They haven't started construction.
We have photos?
Could not start construction because of financial hardship, and it's in Westbury on Oak Street.
Residential? Oh, commercial.
No.
It says commerce construction.
Commence. This.
Oh, no, that must have said commence construction. I just saw it.
This was for a variance lot area occupied front yard average setback on Oak Street, Westbury, Belmore
I misread.
Road, also known as Newbridge Road, rear yard to construct two-story and second-story additions to the dwelling, construct a second-story balcony with a deck, 2 stories, etc. And a building permit was issued, but they never started construction. And they had a year and 4 months. They had 4 months to get a permit, and then they had a year to start construction. This thing, so boys and girls, what do you want to do? This needs an extension of time.
How long?
Well, the last one was granted 13121.
How many have they had? One? Well, if they were granted in 21,
The variance was granted.
they've
Yeah,
had no, so
No,
are they in time?
it's dead, isn't it?
Commence. But they haven't come, they've
2018.
got no extensions in the past, and it's 5 years old.
This stuff always confused me.
Hold on, hold
I don't want to step on his toes.
I make a motion to close.
Second, all in favor?